All right, everybody. Welcome back to Silversong. so, as the stream title implies, today is the epilogue for Silversong, and we we were attempting to do it last time, but the RP ended up going a little bit long, and we hit about 4 hours, and we decided that we would continue and wrap things up, rather than cutting anything short or rushing anything along. We would come back today and wrap it all up. So it might be me doing a lot of the heavy lifting on that, as I describe what is going to occur. They gave me their plans last time. But I'll re-summarize them for everybody. But for the uninitiated, one last time. So, after making their way all across Middlemere in search of the mystical lyre, in order to save the benefactor of the orphanage they all stem from the mysterious uh, affliction known as Silvervein, they ended up meeting up with a researcher named Pavlova, as well as a dragonborn who was hunting something that he referred to as the birthright. But they ended up finding out that Silvervein had actually spread a lot further than they expected it to have. A lot more people were afflicted by it than they realized at first. And after trials and tribulations and a hunt for keystones to access a hidden chasm within a mine, they eventually found the source of the Silver Blight curse, which turned out to be the bones of a massive ancient dragon called Lilandio. And after fighting the dragonborn companion of theirs, who turned out to not be working with them, as he had said he was, as he morphed into a monstrous form by the power of the Silver Blight. They discovered that it was not, in fact, the lyre that was curing the illnesses, but instead the bard who played the lyre. It was her abilities and the songs that she was playing. And so Kaj and Gale teamed up to use a lot of their their arcane energy and some of their life as well to manage to cure the bard of the highly progressed Silverblight curse that she had on her, that had frozen her solid in silver. And so they began to take Casadora, the bard, back to Stonybrook in order to attempt to cure Lady Sullivan. And by the time they got back, yeah, that's her name. By the time they got back, they quickly realized that Casadora, though freed from the silvery prison, was rapidly aging, as she'd been alive for hundreds of years down there by the bones of Lilandio. But they managed to make it to Stonybrook, and they managed to cure Lady Sullivan of her Silvervein. And so, faced with what they should do next, Casadora wanted to travel the rest of the realm and make sure that nobody else had Silver Vein, as she realized that her time was growing short and that she might not be there for much longer. True, they didn't heal the horse. So, I will take you over to the other screen. Welcome to the other screen. As the party last time where we ended, they were up here in Stony Brook, in the northeast of Middlemere. And their plan was to travel sort of around the kingdom and take Casadora all the way to the major cities in order to attempt to see if there was anyone else afflicted and to cure them if they were. One last, getting the band back together for one last tour. So, I will redraw their path, unless they have changed their mind in between the past few sessions. I don't know what the squiggle over Glory Bell is, GB.
Straight into the ocean.
So that was the plan, was to travel sort of counterclockwise around the kingdom, first making their way to Eudora and then across to Tradewater, then south to Evermore, and then along the edges of the Silvercourt Woods towards Glory Bell once more, and then back to Silken Shore after passing through Belisandre. So unless you have any changes to that plan, yeah, you can let me know. But
yeah, actually, I'm thinking maybe we just get. No, I'm joking.
we stay behind. Casadora, good luck. True, Chibi. It would take them 80 years to find a new plan anyway.
And she slowly just turns her hair whiter and whiter in the corner as we're arguing.
She's just sitting there, yeah.
No, that's awful.
So, without wasting any time, you, with the aid of Diarmid in Stony Brook, you grab some horses on the coin of Lady Sullivan and restock your supplies, and then as quickly as possible you set out. I believe you said that Pavlova was going with you, right? You were going to plan to maybe drop her off?
Yeah, she can stay as long as she wants.
Yeah, I don't see why
you
not.
had,
Well,
you had
also,
discussed potentially dropping her off in Glory Bell.
Yeah,
Mr.
when we
Duchesne?
get to Glory Bell or something.
Cobb's gonna try and convince you to stay with us, mostly because people are hunting us, and
Oh yeah,
he doesn't
that
feel good
yeah.
about leaving her by herself.
Fair enough. Then we'll get to that when we get to that. But you set out across the Riverlands, following one of the major rivers to the west. And the journey takes you shorter than it did when you were traveling through the Riverlands. South, as you have less rivers to cross, you don't have to wait for any ferries or ford any rivers, as well as you are now on horseback. And so you make your way west along the river, and eventually, as you travel over the green hills of the Riverlands, you see in the distance the towering walls of the capital city of Middlemere, Eudora. Yeah, no ferryman. So, as you approach the massive city of Eudora, what is your plan for helping Casadora find people as you make your way into the busy city streets?
Well, I assume we try and find like Sir Jacob and stuff. Tell him the plan. Find a place to try and get everyone to go to, like a church. They probably have one of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then have her sing when that's filled.
Who did you say you were going to try to find?
Or what's his name? Sir Joseph or Sir Jacob? Sir Joseph?
Sir Joseph.
I think
Sir
you're talking
Joseph.
about Joseph, yes.
Sir Joseph, Riley, and Mila.
I'm not. Yeah. So they're the only contacts that they have.
All right.
They were Kingsguard, right? So.
Indeed, they were Kingsguard. Early, Chibi. That was a deep pull. Joseph McGrath. Yeah, so you make your way into the city streets of Eudora, which is sort of a bustling haven of all sorts of trade, as well as it is a central place for craftsmen. You actually make your way through a large square dedicated purely to stonemasons, carpenters, blacksmiths, known as Guildhall Square. And the castle of Eudora, where the king would reside, is sort of in the northwest of the city. And the folk around here, as you ask around to get directions to it, they refer to it actually as the King's Meadow. But as you get closer towards the castle, you can see relatively sturdy walls that block the castle off and keep it secure. But next to it, there is another set of walls where there's a series of barracks set up for the King's Guard. And so you ask around a little bit for some of the members of the King's Guard. Some of the guards out front talk with you a little bit, and you make reference to Sir Joseph, who you talked to before, as well as Sir Riley and Sir Milo as well, who Riley did not refer to herself as that, but that is in fact what they are. And so eventually you manage to get a hold of one of them as they come out to the gates to meet you. And he, Sir Joseph, directs you guys to pursue both the church as well as checking out in a lot of the major city squares. And then he points you towards some of the less affluent neighborhoods, and to check there as well to make sure that there aren't any suffering there who aren't able to afford any care from apothecaries or herbalists. And so with Casadora and Pavlova accompanying you, you make your way through Eudora. And the river sort of cuts itself right through Eudora, almost splitting the city in half. And you have to make your way across this very grand bridge as you head south in the city to find some of the churches. And it appears as though perhaps maybe Silvervein hasn't spread quite as far in Eudora, as you only find maybe 3 people within the churches who are ill, and then another person who is kind of sick out on the streets.
Only 4 total sick people?
Indeed.
We do have to check the poor people too.
Jeez.
Well, maybe we can carry them all to the same place. Tibbs, that's you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a lot of people, though, for how much trade goes in and out of here.
Well, some of the ones that weren't like super dead could have already gotten better.
Yeah, and they might have been better equipped to keep it at bay in the meantime too.
Mm.
So you managed to gather some of them up into the same place, aiding them along the streets until They're all gathered at one of, say, the churches, if that's where you like to go. And then, once more, Casadora performs her song for her audience. Again, a smaller audience than expected, as Silvervein did not seem to hit Eudora quite yet. And as Casadora once more performs her little song, you see them all start to kind of regain color in their faces. The paleness begins to fade. And the distended silvery veins along their necks disappear as well, as they all appear to be in good spirits when you finally, after Casadora finishes her song, excuse yourselves and wish them good day. So, presuming that you guys don't want to spend large amounts of time loitering in any of the cities, and that you kind of want to pack up and get going.
Yep.
After you finish in each of the cities. Then you don't actually have a ton of time to really explore much of Eudora. You only really see what you saw as you attempted to gather people up, but no time to enter any shops or anything like that, or really get much of a lay of the land. Before, after perhaps maybe only staying a single night in Eudora, so that you can set out in the morning, you set off once more, this time heading out of the western gates and racing your way along the river towards the west coast where Tradewater sits. So, after another few days of travel, you eventually see, off in the distance, along the ocean, the large town, I would describe it as, of Tradewater. Not nearly as grandiose as Glorybell or Eudora, but still quite well established on its own. You can see in the docks, kind of at the farthest reaches of the town, large trade ships sitting as sailors pile up crates and carry them onto the ships and off the ships, as Tradewater is a sort of central area for, well, trade.
Crazy.
Surprising, I know.
Wait, but how do they transport it? Do they use
Okay.
the water?
No. They steal.
Land trade.
So, as you make your way into town, you actually notice that, in comparison to Eudora, quite a few people here are sick.
Yeesh.
You can see sort of larger camps that have been set up on parts of the town. One kind of towards the south, and then another one off towards the east, where they've kind of grouped a bunch of people up in hopes of keeping them sort of a little bit separate from the rest of the sailors and townsfolk. And so as you travel throughout Tradewater, the townsfolk there are relatively friendly, and they guide you along towards those camps. And by the time you visit both of them, you've now seen about maybe 150 ill people at one of the camps, and then maybe another 60 or so at the other camp.
Yeesh.
And as always, at each of the camps, Casadora performs her song in order to cure each of them and make sure that the camps are healthy. But these performances, they drain Casadora. After she finishes her song at each of these camps, she pretty much just collapses, almost unconscious and just sort of shallow breathing, as the crowds are far larger. But for the sake of time, she is curing them all at once. And so you end up having to take a little bit longer in Tradewater, as she needs some time to recover after each of the performances. And so you spend several days in the small town, though, again, you're not able to do a ton of exploring, as you're sort of centralized and focusing on your task at hand. So as you wrap up at both of the camps within Tradewater, is there anything else you want to do before you set off once more?
Probably see if any of the trades from the Sullivans are coming through there, right?
All right. Where do you think you would ask to try to find that out?
Port. I don't know.
Yeah. So within the port,
Help me out here, guys.
within the
looking for
port,
anything involving silver.
within the port along the western side, almost the entire western side of Tradewater is just all multiple piers and ports. And so there's a bunch of different shipping companies. There's a bunch of different fisheries and all sorts of different things. So it would be quite a task to try to investigate all these.
Tibbs is gonna look specifically to see if there's any export of silver.
Very well.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you spot kind of as you're making your way through. Actually, make an investigation check for me. We might as well do some rolls during this.
Can I help him?
It's not D&D. Yeah, you can have advantage on it.
Not D&D without some rolls.
15.
Okay, so it takes you guys a little bit of work to kind of examine this, but perhaps you do this as Casadora is recovering on one of the days. You poke around a little bit in town. And so after about a day or so of searching, you actually find one of the trade companies that is looks a little bit wealthier than the others. Their building is large and very well maintained. And so you make your way inside, and there's a very busy looking secretary who is hard at work as she's constantly scribbling in a little notebook. And actually you can see sort of a mess of sending stones sprawled out across her desk as she constantly is picking them up and talking, and then putting them down again and switching over to the other one. And so as she takes a moment to address you as you enter, is there anything in particular you would ask this secretary?
Who's all here? Just me and Gail? Is Ruva here?
You guys can decide who
I'm
you think would
looking
be
after
there.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
Always, so.
Rove's gonna be there.
So just us three?
Yeah.
Uh,
Unless Pav went.
okay. Fuck.
This is all you, Tibbs.
As you enter, she kind of gives you like the single finger of just like, wait a moment, as she's holding one of the sending stones. And then after about 3 or 4 minutes of waiting, she puts it down, and then she looks up at you and goes, can I help you with something?
Yeah, hello. We're here, by the name of the Sullivans, and we're just, checking to see if any of our exports of silver have been, making it properly. We've had some disturbances in the mines recently, and we are essentially just following the tracks of the entire network to make sure that it is continually flowing smoothly.
Yeah, she just kind of begins to flip through a bunch of pages on her desk. Oh heavens, Sullivan's. S Sullivan's. You're saying you're late on a shipment? Is that what you're saying? She's kind of just only half paying attention.
We're just essentially making sure that the shipments are proceeding as planned to the correct places.
Oh, there it is. Sullivan. Yes, actually, shipment has just left a couple days ago, so not to worry about that. You said there was an issue with the mines. That's not going to delay any future shipments, is it?
I don't believe so. It didn't necessarily stop production. Well, it did for a couple of days. Not enough that in the grand scheme of things there might be issues, but
All
it's
right,
also
well,
sort of a
Good.
precursory.
She just interrupts you. Good. All right. Well, if there is going to be any changes in the shipments, please do send us a letter so that we can be notified ahead of time.
Sure thing.
She's already sort of moved on. She's flipping the pages and she's already writing something down as you talk to her.
Ask her which ships. And
Maybe
are
you should
they,
do that. I don't think she
are they
likes me.
important? Hi, so I'm Verena.
Yes. I don't really have any time for introductions.
Yeah,
Is there something you
we
needed?
need to know what ships these are. There was also some sort of mix-up that potentially some of the things wasn't all just silver, and we need to make sure that the purity is correct.
What ships? What ships for what?
The export for the
Yes. What
you
export?
know, of silver.
Oh, you're with the other fellow. I see.
Yes. Hi. So
Hi.
we need to know the ship names and stuff.
Ship names, I'm afraid I don't have that information. I have enough to worry
Do
about
you
without
know who
remembering the
does?
names of all the ships. There's quite a few ships that come through here, you know?
Yeah. Who would know that?
The captains of the ships, but I think it'll be a little bit hard to find that out, as unless you're quite a good swimmer.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your help.
She just completely ignores that. She's already back to work.
Yeah.
God, what a
So-
bitch.
That didn't really go well, but we could always just, break in later, look through some
Yeah, it's
stuff.
fine for now. We got what we wanted.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you...
Wait, did we? I'm sorry.
got
did
enough.
We get one?
We got enough. We got the basic info that we need if we need to expand upon it in the future.
Okay.
You have the information that indeed there were shipments of silver that
Yes.
have gotten away from you.
I mean, who wants to take a swim?
We also know that silver is being exported outside of Middlemere.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, but I thought we already knew that though.
I don't know if you had
So
any
no
confirmation
shit.
of it. You
Oh,
knew that
okay.
you knew that trade ships were being paid. You didn't know if they had started yet. You
We
just
didn't
knew
know
that
why they need all that silver.
You had seen,
I should. Oh, okay.
you
It
had
was
seen in the
something.
ledger-
I just assumed. Yeah.
you had seen in the
'cause it said
ledger
trade
that there
ships.
was trade ships being paid for, but you hadn't had any actual confirmation as to whether or not that whole process has started yet, which you now
Yeah.
have.
They're
It
building
didn't
a giant
occur to me
silver
that if
robot
they-
animation.
So, after a moderately successful attempt to gain a little bit more information, you return to Casadora, who, once she's kind of feeling a little bit better, is ready to go back on the road again. So unless you have any additional things you want to do in Tradewater, you can set out once more.
Nope.
Yeah. If Cass is ready, then.
She's indeed ready
Yeah.
to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, this time you set out through the south of Tradewater and begin to head southeast, which takes you kind of along the western reaches of the Avonlea Prairie. And so you can see golden fields of wheat and towering windmills gently turning in the distance as you make your way through a lot of very flat land. But there is actually a road that just travels straight from Tradewater to Evermore that you can follow. And so your journey is quite quick as you make your way in good time. There's no forests in your way or rocky cliffs. Nice one, Chewie. And so as you approach Evermore, you find it to be a rather quaint little farming town, nestled along the lake known as the Donshire Shallows. And all the way across the lake, if you kind of squint, though it is a large lake, you can see trees. And judging by your map, those trees make up the Silvercourt Woods where you once wandered. And so Evermore is not as big as Tradewater. It's certainly a smaller town, but they still have quite a lot going on. There are a ton of farms in the surrounding area of all sorts. There is cows, there's pigs and chickens, but there's also fields and fields and fields of wheat, almost endless fields of wheat. But there's other vegetables as well, like cabbages and carrots and all sorts. So the people here appear to be quite well fed. They're always quite hard at work, always with some sort of business that they need to take care of on their farms.
I'm gonna just gonna pick a piece of wheat just like out of the ground and hand it to Gale like you'd present a flower.
Oh, my favorite. Thank you, Tipper.
Our Lady provides.
You're welcome.
Well. So is everyone just like dead here?
They're not. They're not dead, no. But there are certainly a lot more sick people than there were in Eudora. But these sick people are actually all still at work.
Wow.
Though they are looking pale and have distended veins and sort of sunken eyes with dark circles under them, and are frequently kind of caught up in fits of coughing, they have just completely ignored it and are hard at work at the farm. And so this time, one of you make persuasion roll with advantage, since you're all attempting it. But
I have a negative
who?
1.
I got a, yeah. 22.
Advantage.
Advantage.
might as well roll it
Advantage.
with advantage. Yeah.
We're all doing it.
You're all attempting it. I just let.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
All right,
That's what
so
that- 24. Okay. Sorry.
the people of Evermore initially give you a little bit of difficulty as you try to convince them to take time out of their busy farming schedules
That's because of the
to
22.
to cure themselves. But with a 25, it does not take you extra days to convince them. And so,
That sweet, sweet Ruva charm.
indeed, you managed to charm them into listening to what you have to say. Though they were initially resistant, as each of them gives you the same response that they don't have any time to waste and that they have to keep the farm moving.
As
But you
fucked
managed
up
to.
as it sounds, we were not going to wait. I don't think. We are on a time limit too, my boys. Like y'all don't get this treatment, y'all dying. Like, sorry.
But you managed to convince them that their health will get significantly worse if they do not take a little bit of time out of their day today. And so you managed to gather up a group of another 100 or so farmers and townsfolk who gather kind of together in the square of Evermore, where Casadora does another performance. And again, as it was in Tradewater, these larger performances take a lot out of her. And so she does need a little bit of time to recover after this performance. And she drops to the ground almost immediately after she finishes the song. You can actually hear her voice kind of trembling towards the end of it as well.
How is she looking physically? Like, obviously her hair is probably losing color, but is she like?
I was actually going to get to that, yeah. Thank you for
Oh shit.
bringing
Okay.
that up, because that's a good segue. As she recovers this time, and you begin to prepare to set off once more to make your way along the edge of the woods towards Glory Bow, you notice that Casadora has indeed aged quite a bit since you set out from your journey. Initially, she just had streaks of gray hair going through what was once a dark brown. But now you can see sort of heavy wrinkles under her eyes and at the edges of her mouth. And she's very clearly has a lot less energy than she did even at the beginning of the journey. And when she's not on the horse that you guys were provided, she walks quite slow. She's sort of very weak.
Wait, hold up. They only got one horse?
No.
No, we each have a horse.
I'm saying the horse
Okay.
that was provided for her.
Okay.
Like when you guys are traveling from town to town, you're on your horses and stuff. But when you get off them and you're walking around, you notice that she is a lot slower than she was before.
Rivulet takes Tibbs aside and says, "Carry her everywhere." And then just,
Yeah? It's gonna go on my horse too. So
What? No, I mean, when we have to
we're
walk
down, yeah.
places.
Hey, Kaj is making sure to like monitor her health and give her healing again.
not everybody can ride a horse by themselves when they're old.
Yeah, cause you're healing each day as she recovers from the performances she gives. It does speed her recovery, and so she doesn't take weeks to recover. She takes only a day.
Riva's gonna start riding on the horse with her to give support, but just make herself smaller, so that so that the horse doesn't have to like have that
Very
much
well, yeah.
weight.
Okay. Then, unless you have any other business in Evermore, you eventually set out once more towards Glory Bow. And this stretch of the journey is a little bit longer than the other ones, as you're making your way across quite a lot of grassland towards the center of Middlemere. But there are sort of smaller dirt roads that travel between Evermore and Glory Bow. And with the absence of, as you're not traveling right through the Silvercourt Woods, you don't take any delays. As you begin to near Glory Bow, you can see those familiar walls of the city before you. And you make your way once more into the sprawling southern city. So is there any plan for gathering people in Glory Bow?
Kaj.
Hmm? Yeah.
I'm gonna go get my horse.
Oh, okay. Get your horse.
I don't know if my family's going to stop me. I hope not, but if they do, I will be back later.
Okay. Riva, you had an idea before, right?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we could get the children to help.
Yeah, I'll see if
I
I can
feel
find
like-
people at the church too.
I feel like they would know where the sick people are, and then we can all go outside if any of them can be moved, and then they can be healed in the camp, because there's a lot of people out there.
Works for me.
Very well. Then one of you heads down to Glaston to find the street urchins that you used to aid you before. And you can find them skulking about near the drunken jester. And Kaz, you sort of make your way over towards the church. But you actually, as you're passing through so the central area near the square, you actually notice that the Church of Our Lady has been reopened, as it was once closed down to allow the priests from that church to make their way over to the church on the eastern side of town, the Church of the Bride and Groom. It is now reopened now that you have allowed them to spread their personnel out a little bit by curing all the people in the church.
Is it like, can I see inside of it and see if there's anybody in there right now?
Yeah, there's really only one person, which is Violet. That's her name, right?
Yep, Violet. Okay.
And she's just kind of cleaning stuff up and making sure that it's all ready and nicely organized for when they actually reopen the church.
Okay, I just want to ask Violet real quick then if she knows about any more sick people that we haven't gotten to before.
She quickly directs you that the Church of the Bride and Groom on the eastern side have actually taken the rest of the people from that camp outside the eastern gate. They've actually taken those people in and are attempting to treat them. She says that quite a few of them were quite far along in their illness, as they weren't really able to treat all of them before, but they've been keeping them relatively stable in hopes that you guys would actually return.
Okay, great. I guess I'll wait outside then and just take everybody to the church when they gather everybody.
Yeah, so Ruvi, you make your way to the south of town to Glaston, and you find those street urchins who aided you before. And now the ever grateful Robert, whose mother you guys helped save, will of course be very willing to help you all, and so the other kids follow suit. And they quickly help you make your way through the rest of the city, and they kind of check all the little side streets in order to look for anyone who might be ill who wasn't able to make their way to the church for whatever reason. Yeah, I think Gil should still have the rock. And so you managed to gather up a couple more people who were either too weak to make their way to the church or various other reasons. And so with that combined with the people in the church that have been moved from the eastern camp outside of the city walls, you now have another maybe 60 or so people that you've gathered up.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask. You said this is happening at the church that just reopened.
No,
Or-
this is at the
No,
church on the eastern side of town. Violet was back
okay.
at the church trying to make sure that everything was ready to reopen again, as they have a little bit less patience than they had before. But back at the other church, they've taken all those people from the camp outside. That was sort of the overflow group when they couldn't take them all in. But now that they have all that space that you guys freed up, they took in all the other people so that they could keep them stable in hopes that you guys would
Gotcha.
return and cure them.
Okay.
And so, because you guys cured all those people before you left, that means that all the people outside will not die. Otherwise, they would have.
Huzzah!
So, I have a question.
A lot of them were old.
I have a question. Does anybody make their way through the southwestern noble section of town near the amphitheater?
Mariva's going to, because one of the things she wanted to do was fake try and get another like appointment with Mr. Sullivan.
Yeah, I remembered you kind of mentioning something about that last time, so that's what I wanted to check.
Mhm.
As you make your way kind of along that southern street in Glorybell, you find that that manor that you once visited, Sullivan's Manor, is almost completely locked down. Where once there was several guards out front, there is now almost an entire army. And still out front of the actual exterior of the gate are just those city watch guards. But within, as you walk by, you see within the estate on the grounds are hired hands, hired muscle, if you will. And there is just tons of people. Actually, as you're walking by, make a perception check for me.
Oh boy. I see no one.
All right, then the only thing that you see with a perception check like that is you notice that the windows where you once entered are boarded up and covered in iron gates now. Clearly, somebody has realized that something has been stolen from him.
Whoop. Okay. But yeah, they're just gonna pretend that they still want to give a message, but yeah. They don't care. They just want to make it seem like they're obviously not the ones who broke in.
Yeah,
They're still trying to. Yeah.
you try and sort of talk with some of the guards, and the guards out front are pretty friendly and willing to talk with you, but as soon as they bring over one of the inside guards, one of the personally hired hands, that person doesn't even let you talk to the butler anymore. They just go, nope, Lord Sullivan's not seeing anyone.
Yeah. Wait, what was his name? Was it Ferdinand? Or no, Francis? Is he one of the guards? Was he still there?
I don't remember the guard's name.
Okay.
Francis was Lord Sullivan.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Oh,
wasn't
yeah, I
Francis the guy?
Yeah, I was like, wait, Ferdinand? Yeah.
But yeah, those inside guards, they don't even try to summon the butler or anything like that, or
Okay.
even consult on whether or not he'd be interested. They just tell you basically to screw off.
Okay. Well, they made the appearance, so it's all good.
And so you move back along the streets to gather up the rest of the people as you make your way through town. And eventually you gather everybody up back at the church, and now have a crowd of about 60 or 70 people, both from the camp, the ones that were already in there, as well as the ones that you found on the streets. And once again, actually, sorry, Tibber, forgot.
Yeah.
You make your way just outside of town as the others are gathering people and organizing all that. You make your way outside of town and head north towards the Godfrey Estate, which is only a short trip outside of town near the little thicket of forest. And as usual, Garrick is on guard out front. And he welcomes you back and asks if everything's going all right and whether or not things have gotten dangerous, and he sort of makes sure you're okay and all that. But he's been keeping the horse that you allowed him to look after, sort of just off the side of the estate, and he's actually tending to the horse himself so that nobody else has to do any of the extra work.
Yeah. I actually did want to grab my mom if possible.
Sure, we can
I
just do that right now.
Boo
Oh,
hiss.
not birth mom.
All right, where in the world is that map?
Oh shit.
Well, I made the maps, so
That's fine. Yeah.
I never used them.
I was so tempted to be like, you know what? Let's just go north to the mountains and see if you.
All right, get out of here, Kosh.
No.
All right. So, you make your way to the Godfrey Estate, and as you check in with Garrick, and he kind of says that the horse is doing all right. It's still alive, but it is getting worse. You can see the silver veins also along its neck, and they have quite they've worsened since you were last here. I will have you know I made con checks for this horse because you left it behind.
Oh, lovely.
It succeeded on them, so it's still alive.
Fucking go, baby. All right, all right.
But I will let you know that yes, that was its fate was up in the air, and Chibi would have been furious with you. But
Okay, I'm taking it now.
you mentioned that you actually were interested in seeing your mother, and Garrick says that yeah, she should be home. Well, you know where it is. And he just kind of points to the small little house that Mary lives in off to the side of the estate.
Oh Yep, gonna act like I know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Mm. Is the door's closed? I'm assuming I'm gonna walk up and
Yeah, the door's closed.
gingerly knock. A little nervous.
All right. You knock and then you wait for about 30 seconds or so before you hear from behind the door just the voice of your mother saying, "Come in." And she's in her chair and sort of facing away from you as you enter. And she just kind of instinctively says, "Garrick, is that you?" And then she turns around and goes, "Tibber, is it really you?"
Yeah, it is. It's been a while. How have you been?
I'm good. How are you? I wasn't expecting you to visit.
I wasn't planning on visiting.
I see. Well, then what do I owe the visit?
Well, I've been busy. Kind of went on a whole adventure.
An adventure?
I mean, I'd imagine you heard of Silver Vein. You're not sick, are you?
Of course, I've heard of it. No. I'm quite lucky.
Thank God. We found the cure.
You found the cure to Silvervein?
Yeah, believe it or not, it's not a medicine or a herb. It's a song.
It's a song. I'm afraid I'm not entirely sure what you mean, but
Okay,
I believe you.
it's a bit far fetched, but that's why I'm here. I wanted you to maybe come and see the performance. I don't want you to get close to the sick people, obviously, but kind of as like a testament to what I've done to prove.
I see. I'd love to.
And I figured we could grab Dad too.
Yes. I'm sure he'd like to see it as well.
And afterwards, typically it takes some time. She's kind of a frail lady at this point. Figured we could spend some time as a group. You can meet the people I've been with since I left. Maybe walk around the city. Well, I would push you, but
Yes, of course. I'd love to.
well, I think they're waiting on me now. But I came up to get my horse, which was also sick.
Your
But-
horse. Is that the horse that I've been seeing on the estate?
It might be.
I thought it was Garrick's horse.
Well, it's kind of been. I kind of dumped it on him. I feel bad, but
Oh, I see. All right.
I decided to name it after him, so hopefully he takes it a little better.
Well, he's been tending to it every day, so I'm sure he wasn't angry about it.
I'm glad I not quite ready to talk to anybody else. Kind of only talked to Edward and now you.
Of course, I see.
But if you're ready,
Yes, just let me grab my shawl and I'll be ready to go.
okay.
And so you help her get ready, and as you begin to kind of to help her along the path out towards the estate, she begins to just sort of chatter about what you've been up to. She's just, "Are you sure you're eating enough, Tibber?" And all that as you You're going to bring the horse with you, yeah?
Yeah, kind of. Keep it a bit away. I mean, I know we're about to cure it, but I don't want it like
Fair
I
enough.
just like on the lead behind me as far as the lead can go.
Yeah. You keep the horse kind of trailing along beside you as you begin to make your way.
Plus, I do kind of need my hands to push her, so
Yeah, the horse just sort of follows obediently along. It looks a little weak. It's kind of slow in its pace, but it does follow you.
boy, ain't that a sight.
And so you make your way all the way back along the road to the south, and as Garrett kind of gives you another nod as you leave the estate, and you wind your way back towards the walls of Glory Bell. Let me copy you thing. And so, presuming that you all reconvene at the church. I would say, Tibber, you're probably the last to arrive, as the others are already prepared and have gathered a crowd as you make your way into the Church of the
Wait.
Bride and Groom.
Not the church, the camp. Oh wait, no, they are in the yeah. There is no camp anywhere. It's the church. Yeah.
I'll ever bring a horse to church.
Do
Is
you
that
not?
Horse church.
Porch. Doesn't ring a bell as well as Snurch.
True, Chibi. You do get smited for caps lock a lot. But that's okay. Other people have gotten smited for that too. It's only a couple seconds of timeout.
At least you didn't get all your messages deleted because you posted a link. Wasn't that Zeke?
No,
Got literally murked.
it does that to you if you cap spam as well.
Oh no!
So you make your way into the church, Tibber pushing along Mary, with the horse following behind you. And the others are already inside and have gathered up a crowd of the sick, those who are afflicted with Silvervein. And Casadora is sort of preparing herself for another performance. Again, this is another larger group, so you suspect that this will probably take a lot out of her. So, once more, Casadora begins to sing, and she sings the song that seems to be working time and time again. And once more, as she finishes her song, you see her kind of begin to tremble, her voice kind of weak towards the end of it, and then she sort of falls over and kind of braces herself on the table behind her as her song draws to a close. Tibber, you kind of keep Mary towards the back of the cathedral as she watches the performance. Sorry, you get your dad too. I forgot. What the hell's his name? I can't search his portrait, but I don't know his name.
Ugur. Ugor.
Okay.
Ugor. I just remember it being fucking impossible to say in my voice.
There we go. I wasn't sure if I had named the portrait what the name was, or if I just named it,
Tibber's
Tibber's
dad.
dad.
Fair enough.
Would you stop by the herbalist as you make your way through town before going to the church, and your dad accompanies you? And so they watch the performance, and at first they're sort of like kind of confused as to what's going on. Again, they don't have the full context of Casadora's story and all that you've seen on the road. But as the song draws to a close and they see that the patients that you've all gathered up, who were once coughing their lungs up and pale and covered in these silver veins, they all begin to sort of stand up and examine themselves, and they seem to be healed. And so your dad sort of just looks stunned. As an herbalist, he has seen quite a few different medicines, and he's never seen one work quite that fast. And so he's just kind of taken aback and just, what in the name of Our Lady?
Really, honestly, it's like like the story. I mean, you wouldn't believe it, but I had to show you. I mean,
well, I certainly wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it, but I suppose I have to believe it now. Who is this lady who's singing?
Well, if you've ever heard the tale of the Bard of Belisandre, that's her. Her name's Casadora.
Son, that story's hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
That's her?
Yep. Again, you wouldn't believe me, but you just saw her work her magic, so...
Yeah, he kind of chuckles, like he doesn't have... He's sort of like skeptical, but he doesn't really have any way of proving you wrong, so he's kind of scratching the back of his head and chuckling and just going, I suppose you're right.
I mean, it's way more believable than me telling you she was a statue of silver, and we fought a dragonborn that went into a lake of silver that turned into a big silver beast and almost killed 3 of us. 2 of us.
That also sounds quite far-fetched, but I just saw someone sing a song and cure an illness, so I suppose I'm willing to believe anything today.
It's only something the 4 of us will ever fully understand.
He kind of gives you like a heavy clap across the back and just goes, "You helped make this happen, son."
Yeah. Probably put us a few steps back along the way, but...
Well, as your father and as, well, someone dedicated to medicine, I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
L in the chat. And the others, you, Kaj and Ruva, you help Casadora kind of brace herself as she's quite weak at the knees and borderline sort of unconscious after another performance. By now, as you've traveled across the countryside to Glory Bell, all of her hair is completely white. And she looks significantly older. Where once she looked maybe about 24 or 25, she now looks to be almost 50, 60.
Jeez.
She's been aging rapidly each day that's passed. And so, weakened from the performance once more, she will likely need a little bit of time to recover. So, as she sort of recovers for the rest of the day, it's only sort of early afternoon by the time you manage to cure the people left in Glorybell. Is there anything else you want to do in the city as she rests?
Just a day out with the pops and the mom.
See how easy it is to break into the that fucking, I mean, the B one. Mansion B.
Cambridge?
Yeah.
The B one. I think any
Bainbridge
of them are
Manor.
rapiers.
Yeah. Yep.
I would say that Bainbridge Manor, while not surrounded by the small army that the Sullivan Estate is, it does still have security. And actually, it does almost seem a little bit heightened from when you last passed by it.
Okay,
Rich
I'm just
people
gonna,
at
gonna see how stealthy Ruva feels right now. Oh no! Oh no! Okay, they might just be watching stuff.
Yeah, you scope it out as Cassador recovers for the rest of the day, and you spend the night in Glory Bell. But you kind of case the Bainbridge Manor, and you kind of make a couple little notes of. It seems a little bit heightened since you were last here, since you last passed the estate.
That's
they
it
seem
though.
to have
Nothing.
tightened up their security, but other than that, you don't notice anything particularly out of the ordinary.
Mhm.
Yes, there will be chibi at the end. So, is there anything anyone else wants to do as you spend the night in Glory Bell to allow Cassadora time to recover?
Just healing Casadora.
Very well. Then, let me bring you back to the big map.
Date night with Gale.
The most eligible bachelor in Middlemere.
Let's
Uh,
go.
So, we will, let's take a small little break here. And we'll be right back in 2 minutes. To resume. So, grab a drink, grab a snack. And, we will be right back in 2 minutes.
I think there's like a lake monster in the shallows.
There better be.
We'll never know.
Otherwise, I don't want it. My head feels like there's a fucking hydraulic press on it right now.
And take it off.
God, I wish. Oh god, they can hear us?
Yeah, they always can. I found that out a few
Yeah.
sessions ago. I was like, oh.
Interesting.
Yeah, because half the time I was just like, oh, we're muted, right? Oh, yeah.
No, I never mute you guys because I'm like, oh, well, if you're talking about session-related things,
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
then while I'm gone, they might as well listen to you guys talk. So I don't mute it. It actually automatically mutes my mic when I go to that one, but it doesn't mute you guys.
Throws us under the bus.
But yes, I'm back now. So,
That's Charlemagne. What do you mean?
Chibi,
What
Yeah,
kind of question
wait.
is that?
How do you not know?
Chibi, that's my name. That's my name in the server too. That's so funny. That's so funny, Chibi.
That is pretty funny. But
No.
no, that's the
That's the name of the world.
the
That's
name of
the
the
realm.
world, yeah.
Jeez, bro. That's like not knowing what the difference between a continent and
Oh no.
Mm.
So, getting back into things, as you guys prepare the next day while Casadora is feeling a little bit better and ready to set out once more, though she is rather weak at all times now. As you prepare to leave Glorybell, Pavlova looks a little conflicted, as she did mention perhaps going to stay with Barley Duchesne at Duchesne Excavations. And but she also sort of seems like she wants to continue with you guys. So Kaz, you mentioned wanting to persuade her to join you. Is there any sort of specific reason? You don't have to do a whole conversation with her, but is there any sort of specific reason you can give her to sway her?
Yeah,
Well, the
we're
main thing
posted on
being
this.
that people are trying to hunt her down and run with the rest of us, so I don't feel safe leaving her there.
Yeah, she's just kind of. You think they're after me too?
They did say something
they
about a
mentioned
cat.
you in the thing.
Guilty by association?
Oh, they were
Unfortunately.
talking about me in that letter.
Well, I couldn't really think of anyone else they might be making
That
reference
was a bigger
to.
threat than any of us, right?
They said cats, but they could. I don't remember. Gosh, had you turned into a cat by then?
No.
Okay.
No, that's
well,
before we got to Glory Bell.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose. I suppose they were referring to me. I see. Well, I would hate to.
Look, you committed copious amounts of fraud at that mine.
I did.
You're on the run right now.
Also, let's not forget that you and I can do some devil research. Smile.
Oh, you're
and
right.
you
You're
were
right
a
about
thief
that.
in Silkenshire.
Oh,
You might be on the run from that too.
yes. That's also true. And I would hate to cause trouble for Mr. Duchesne if there are people looking for me. All right. I'll suppose I'll go with you then.
Right now, we have a criminal in our group.
So, you set out from the eastern gate and make your way back through the rolling hills of Sunnyside, quickly arriving at Bellasander once more. Now that you're on horseback, the journey is quick. You guys actually now have an extra horse, as Tibra's horse is cured. So you
Yeah,
guys
I'm
actually
running
have-
mine, so
You have an additional horse from the ones that you got in Stony Brook.
we could give them that one.
Oh, yeah,
I
you
kind
took
of
the
did
horse.
take one from
You
them,
took
so
your horse from one of the guys over here.
granted, they wanted fucking nothing to do with it. So, I say we give them this one.
Wait, who are you giving something to?
Give them our extra horse.
Yeah.
We did say we would repay them. I'm not giving them money. Fuck that.
Who? Wait,
But-
hold on.
The
Who are you
person
talking
that-
about?
The one that Tibbs got his horse from.
God, you're gonna make me look at my notes?
Tibbs got a horse from someone?
Not this thing.
No,
Hold on,
no,
hold
no,
on.
no,
No, no, no.
I'm
finding names. I'm
confused.
finding names.
If you're talking about how I got a horse from someone and then have been nice enough to let Tibbs have it.
Yeah, you're out of your goddamn mind, kid.
The horse and I both roll our eyes.
No, I'm just saying if we're talking about the one that was sick, I got that.
No. I think
free.
I think we can totally actually decide this. Kosh, are you able to talk with the horse and ask, who it thinks is its rightful owner?
I'm not saying I own it.
I
I think it's its own being.
It does
You're
look good a
saying
lot.
I'm saying. I did ride horse a lot growing up.
Tibbs
All
usually
I'm
doesn't even
saying
know to
is-
walk around with it. It just follows him.
all I'm saying is I got a free horse, and now you're saying we should give a horse to people who gave me a horse. I'm just
I
saying
paid
that
money
makes
for
no
this
sense.
horse.
This
No,
epilogue's gonna be
you-
4 hours long just because it's gonna be the rest
You
of it.
paid
so yes.
money.
Give
You
them
paid
the-
Yeah, I
money
gave
for
them money
nothing.
for it.
You gave them money for nothing. You just gave them money.
I don't
I don't
remember
know.
you ever being in the conversation about the horse.
I had
actually.
already taken the horse.
I don't
just
remember
went-
that. I think I walked it actually.
Oh my gosh.
I think
This
you're a
is-
bit delusional right now.
It's funny because Riva's gonna just turn into a mini Tibbs and be like, "No, I own the horse. I'm a Tibbs, and I think that throwing money at people who've already given away a horse means that I own it.
That is what a contract is. Mm-hmm.
They already gave it away." Yeah, Riva.
I don't remember that part. Hey, Gail, you remember that part? Remember that part where they gave Ruva a horse for free, or did I buy it? Didn't you give money towards it too? Isn't it technically a joint ownership here?
I-
No.
I mean, regardless,
gave-
he's doing it for you. 'Cause it wasn't the
Yeah,
goal
but I'm just
for it
saying,
to be
in
your
terms
horse?
of being practical about this, it's
Practically
technically
speaking,
even more your horse than Ruva's, right?
No.
And Kosh can
I-
talk to him, so
I
they're
had
probably
already-
friends. So I'd say you're
I
even
had-
in fourth
I
place.
had already
And Pavlova's also a cat, so you might even be in fifth place
Oh
here.
my
And
god.
Casadora
Somebody say my
can
name.
cure
Did you just-
anything. She cured him. You might be in sixth place here, actually.
Oh,
Did
you
you
guys
just
are
call-
extra.
Did you just call Pav a cat?
I'm sorry, is she not?
You
You seem like cat ears to me, and I'll flick her ear.
I'm so sorry.
Not hard. Just
I'm
you know.
so sorry, Pav. We'll get through to him eventually.
Yeah, she just kind of grabs one of the ears and just. It's called catchy.
Sorry. Catchy.
So, you make your way back through Belisandre. You can leave that horse behind if you want to.
Yes.
No, give the horse to Alaya. Give it to Alaya.
That's what
At
I'm
least.
doing.
Well, you said the guy that you got the horse from, and
That
that's
is
not
who we
Alaya.
got it from.
No, you got
No.
it for the guy who Alaya works for.
Elia works with the guy, but it wasn't directly.
Was it neither
Elias.
one that
It
was
was-
there? I
He
don't
was
have
nearby.
another name.
He
He was
was
nearby.
there, but he wasn't the one who owned the
Oh,
horse.
well, that's what I meant. I don't.
There was an older dude on the horse. Yeah.
I only have him and Aylmer as the only two written down, so I just
Well,
assumed I didn't talk to somebody else.
You can leave the horse
Oh.
there if you wish. If you absolutely can't agree, then you can.
No. They just want. They're fine with leaving the horse to Alaya, but he said he was gonna give the horse to the guy that he thought he got a horse from.
I thought it was Alaya, so we're on the same page.
Gassador, I'm so sorry.
Gassador just
I know
slowly
your life
wasting
is
away.
I forgot there was the older guy there.
I
It's
know
the
your
same
life is
person.
draining from you as
How
we
it is
speak, but
All the time, Gassador.
I'm going to kick Ruva off her horse.
Rufus gonna strike a fucking.
Don't you dare hit my goddamn horse.
No, why wouldn't No, they're not gonna hit a horse. They're gonna
God,
do.
you're awful. Hitting horses?
Who even hits horse?
Who would have known?
All right. So you make your way through Belisandre, but Belisandre is quite a small little town. There's only a couple different houses, as well as the larger buildings where they make wine. And so it's relatively quick to scan through the area and look for sick people. You really only find 2 people. And they were sort of not particularly severe cases. Perhaps maybe it was a little more severe. But with the improvement that everybody's seen after Lilandio's bones were laid to rest, their cases are not particularly severe now. And so Casadora does a song for them, but this time she's not quite weakened by it. It's only a few people that she needs to heal, and not very severe cases. So she doesn't need much time for recovery, as you are quickly ready to set out once more. So unless there's anything else you want to do in Belisandre, then you can make your way to the last stop in your journey, which would be Silkenshore.
Well, there aren't we gonna, after Silkenshore, we're going back to... So that she can...
I believe you said that you wanted to go back to Belisandre, yeah.
Yeah, so, okay.
But I mean in the curing tour.
In the tour, okay, got it.
All right. So you make your way through the rolling hills of Sunnyside, leaving Belisandre behind and making your way towards the eastern coast, where Silkenshore lays. And off the side of the coast, you can see off in the distance the small outline of Lavender Isle. And eventually, as you roll over top of the hills, you can see in the distance the nestled little hamlet of Silkenshore. And so, Silkenshore also quite a small town, like Evermore. And so it's pretty easy to check around everywhere, looking for those who might be sick or showing any sort of signs of Silvervein. And just from a scan between the houses and talking with some of the locals, you find 3 people who are sick. But is there anything else you want to do in Silkenshore?
Yes. I want to look for whatever the fuck that key goes to that I got last time we were here.
It goes to the thing that you never found.
Yeah.
No, no.
Fuck.
That's not located in Silkenshore.
Damn it!
Unfortunately.
I remember that.
No, what do you mean?
Don't worry, I'll make it come up again later. I promise.
Yes.
It'd be a shame to just have that go nowhere, so I'll make it come up again later.
Call back, Paul.
Awesome.
So, God damn it, Cheesy. You spend some time in Silkenshore gathering up people. You find a few more people and now have a group of about 5 people who are ill. Some worse off than others. And eventually you gather them together sort of near the beach to have a small little concert with Casadora. And Casadora, now, by the time you reach Silkenshore, looks to be quite old. Even for an elf. She's very clearly showing her age. Man, if she wasn't an elf, she would have aged even faster, huh?
Yeah.
She would have just turned to dust right in front of you guys.
No! Shh, quiet.
Make her a monk.
And so, even though this performance is for a smaller group, she's actually still relatively weak after she finishes it. And so she kind of actually falls to her knees when she finishes it, now looking to be approximately, for a human, she would look maybe 70 or 80. Though it would be quite longer in elven years.
God, this has been the longest week of my life.
So she needs a little bit of time for recovery. So if there is anything else you wanted to do in Silkenshore, you can let me know now.
How far away is Elliot?
Which one's Elliot? I completely forgot.
He's at the
Old
end
man
of
of the
the
forest.
Deep
Oh
Green
yeah, yeah,
Domain.
the old man. He was a bit of distance. It'd probably take you half a day to get there.
Hmm.
You'd have to climb some
Go look
mountains
for
too.
an old man in the
There's
woods.
there's also no guarantee that he would be there. That was a campsite.
Yeah, right.
Oh no. It's
But
true.
you could attempt it if you wanted.
Yeah, they probably would.
All right.
Even though it means going back in there.
So you have to kind of climb some rocky escarpments as you make your way over towards the deep green domain, where the smell of pine needles fills the air. And it takes
Is
you.
anyone coming with me?
Yeah, is anyone coming?
Nope.
I gotta watch after Casadores.
Yeah, no. I got my piggies in the sand right now. Me and Gail are eating a whole fish together.
It's our
So-
date.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you make your way, Ruva, out into the deep green domain, and you kind of try to find the same area where you last saw that camp. But you really just kind of find some old logs lying across the dead pine needles, and a stump where it was cut down. Clearly, the wanderer Elliot has moved on.
Mhm. Then they'll just go.
What is the puka there?
That'd be
Yeah,
even-
he's several days away, and
That'd
he's
be-
definitely gone.
an even further journey, and yeah, he wasn't even at a camp. He was just hanging out.
In a tree, and I'm pretty sure he left. Like, we watched him leave.
Yeah, I think he like Cheshire catted away from you guys.
Yeah. I mean, we did
Lit.
see like a green owl later, and so Riva thought
Like-
it might be Harvey, but
Yeah, would have to
Never
go
found
thank
out.
him. It literally saved his life.
I don't know if it was a green owl.
oh, it's just the owl.
It's
I
now, yeah.
think it was just an owl.
Oh,
So by the time you make your way back to Sokenshire, it's nightfall, and the others are spending some time relaxing on the beach. And Kaj, you're tending to Casador, and Pavlova will assist you however she can, as the little nurse aide to help you out. Though she doesn't quite know what she's doing. And so you spend a night in Silkenshire. You can spend your night at Cooper's Crab Shack, or you can camp out on the beach if you want.
is Burno's boat there?
Yeah, the fishing boats are there.
Hmm.
Do not go fucking burn his boat down.
Hmm.
That was almost certainly not his name, Dungeon Dragon Farm.
Oh no, I haven't. It was
It's Valentine Voltaire.
Voltaire Valentine.
Voltaire.
Yeah.
Valentine Voltaire was
Valentine.
his name, right?
God, he was.
Oh, is it Valentine Voltaire?
It's Valentine Voltaire.
Okay, cool.
God, I have him in my notes before that we even met the guards.
Why? Because he was
that-
after.
I don't know.
I don't
think
remember
forgot
which.
to write the
I don't
guards.
remember which order it was.
Regardless, he's the first name after the fucking Sullivans in my notes. So that's how far ago that was.
Oh, yeah. I just remembered it because it's a fucking awesome name.
Listen, GB, you can be either one. The intention was the old timey guy, but it can be either one if you really want.
Yeah, and the old time. Exactly. That's why I remembered it. I was like, what? A name with Valentine and Voltaire? Like, how cool can you get?
Yeah, but he's definitely gone.
Who knows where he's at?
Or is he here?
So you spend a night in Silkenshire, and as you wake up, whether it's in Cooper's Crab Shack or on the beaches, you find Kaj as you awake and kind of checking on Casadora that she's not getting better. Where she would recover each day before, she's not this time.
Hmm.
She still seems quite weak, and you have to kind of help her to her feet. She can't really stand on her own. Again, she now looks to be quite ancient.
Castor, do you think you can travel like this, or what do you want to do?
I think I can. You're just gonna need one of you to help me up onto the horse.
We just gotta get you back to Bell Center now, okay? Almost there.
Yes, I would like to see Belisandre again.
Ruva's gonna ride with her. Make sure
Alright,
she
yeah,
doesn't
you
fall.
you ride on her horse with her to make sure that she doesn't lose consciousness or have a bout
Or
of weakness
die.
and kind of slip off the horse and just smack
Can't
her
have
on the
two
rock.
old ladies dying on us.
Now that would be a
No.
depressing end. she
No.
fails a deck save and just falls off the
No.
In the same spot.
horse. Just
Place is
tearing the
cursed,
blood out of
man.
her.
Oh, but you're not safe with those.
Yeah.
Somebody walking by just, oh man, there must be some sort of old lady serial killer going around these days.
Hey, Casadora, would you like an apple?
So you once you're finished in Silken Shore, you help Casadora back up on the horse, and you ride with her, Ruva, to make sure that she doesn't fall off. And you quickly turn back around and head southwest towards the vineyards of Belisandre. And on horseback, the trip is far faster than it was when you walked on foot. And so you make good time through the rolling hills of Sunnyside. And eventually, after a little bit of travel, you begin to see the fields of grapevines that cover them off in the distance as you return once more to well, where all of this started, Belisandre. Went too low. Get over there again. Join the group. There you go. By the time you make it to Belisandre, another day or two has passed, and most of the day today has passed as well. It's sort of late in the afternoon, approaching the evening, by the time you arrive in the small vineyard town of Belisandre. What do you do?
Who is this?
He's been there.
Oh, nameless boy.
Yeah, what's your name? You're calling towards the person. Who
No,
just
no,
said-
no, no, no. This would take so long. No, other people do things.
Is there anywhere you wanted to go specifically, Casador?
There's a hillside that overlooks the vineyards. I used to sit there when I was learning to play.
Point us in the
Check it out, y'all.
direction.
Yeah, she kind of guides you up sort of towards the north side of the town, which kind of leads you up a little bit along these hillsides and past some of the houses that make up Belisandre, sort of the town section of it. But the grapevines sprawl onwards to the north for quite some distance. And though she's too weak to really travel herself, she kind of helps you guide the way there. As you
I'll
you
pick
bring your
off.
horses towards the north. Eventually, you kind of reach a bit of a rockier hill that the horses might not be able to make it up.
I'm just gonna pick off some grapes and hand some to her and eat some myself.
Yeah, she kind of
Not a lot, just.
Oh, so you're promoting theft now. That's excellent.
It's a message. Come on, man.
Pablo was a bad influence.
you pick off some of the grapes and you pass them to Casadora, and she kind of just slowly eats one of them. And as she chews, you just kind of see her staring sort of off at the grapevine, sort of reminiscing. But she leads you sort of towards the north, past a lot of the town part of it, and over towards the sprawling grapevines. Let me copy all you people.
Uh-oh.
Are we getting another scenic thing? Like
Yeah, I
the,
think.
New map.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh,
like
I
the
was
end of
thinking,
the orphanage?
yeah, that's what I was thinking. And then when who said something about a ho-hos flying past instead of
Oh yeah,
ho-hos?
I'm gonna need that picture from the end of the orphanage, by the way. I'm gonna keep that.
Get to the
Mhm.
orphanage later.
Oh yeah.
So you help Casadora off the horse, and she's too weak to stand now. So Tibber, you are going to have to carry her.
Sure. Oh, there's sun rays.
And so as you make your way towards the top of this hill, you now can sort of look over across the entirety of the grapevines of Belisandre, which stretch on for as far as the eye can see. Green grapes, purple grapes, and even far off in the distance, if you squint, you can kind of see what appear to be yellow grapes, but just all sorts of, all manner of things. Far off into the distance as the sun begins to set, painting Belisandre in sort of an orange glow. And so you help Casadora sit down by an old stump, a fallen log, by the edge of this hillside here, as you look off into the distance. And you sort of ease her down so that she can sit comfortably. And now she looks just positively ancient. All of her hair is white. She has thorough wrinkles across her entire face. Even for an elf, she looks very old. And she just sort of sits there for a while in silence, as the rest of you sort of make your way up to the top of the hillside and gaze off at the scenery around you. And as she just sort of sits there in silence, just kind of thinking back on her life, you actually see that same glow, the one that occurs when she sings, begin to sort of appear along her chest, as it always did. And actually, this time, that little glow, as it gets brighter, it floats sort of right through her chest and now hovers in the air. And she actually outstretches her hands and sort of holds it. And though she's incredibly weak right now, she actually sort of holds it out towards you, Tibber, and says, "Here, it's a gift. It's from the Landiel."
Oh, okay, thank you.
I don't think it's of any use to me anymore. But perhaps her blessing will help you instead. And she just sort of holds her hands out towards you as this little glow hovers just above her hands. Please, take it.
Okay. He'll hold his hands out.
She sort of just kind of transfers this little glow over into your hands as it just sort of bobs gently in the air, now taking on a silver glow. And actually, Casador just sort of stares off into the distance for quite some time, for almost a full minute or two. And then she looks back at you as if she was listening to something. She looks back towards you and says, "Your weapon. Hold out your weapon."
Okay.
You have multiple weapons, Tipper. You can choose.
Um. He's gonna take out the longsword he's been using.
Very well. As you hold the glow in one hand and the longsword in the other, you see the glow sort of drift towards your longsword. And as it meets it, it begins to sort of spread across it until your blade is just a solid silver light. And then slowly it begins to fade. And you see that your blade is now completely coated in a bright shining silver. As Lilandiel's blessing dragon forges your blade.
Dragon forges?
And with that, as Casadora sort of sees that Lilandiel's blessing has been passed on, she just sort of weakly now, her arms kind of fall to her side, and she just sort of, under her breath, says, Use it to protect. That's what Lilandia would have wanted.
I will. I promise.
And then she looks off into the distance again, just sort of staring at the grapevines that spread across the terrain. And she closes her eyes for quite a long time. And then just under her breath you hear her say, Lilandia, I'm by your side, as I always was. And then she falls limp along the log.
Damn.
And Casadora, the bard of Belisandre, passes away.
Huh.
And the rest of you just sort of take a moment and stand there in silence and also sort of gaze out at the vineyards that cover Belisandre as the sun strikes them and bathes the area in that warm golden glow. Two. So you can tell me what you do next then.
Tibbs is just gonna stand on the edge and sort of hold the sword out and run his hand across it, just sort of examining it.
Yeah, the entire blade is now sort of coated in this this silver lining along it.
Well, I wasn't expecting that.
Gil, Tiber's sword is now giving off a glow, where once it was normal, it now has been enchanted with something.
That's the freest shiny I've ever found.
The freest?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, normally we nearly die for it. For like Chinese or something, or with steel.
Well,
To be fair, he did carry an old woman across the entire country.
Hmm.
Yeah, to be fair, he's a big guy.
I mean, it only costs like a a fairy tale lady's life. I mean, I wouldn't have chosen it to be this way.
Pretty cool looking. Very sweet. I guess you're now Lyandil supporter?
Landiel's
Well,
chosen himself.
I mean, I guess so. I didn't know there was really a religion, but
It is now.
They trusted Cassadora to make the choice, and she chose well. Hey, Ruva.
Hmm?
Ruva.
What?
You think we can get Elmer to help us out? Proper burial?
Yeah, probably.
don't mention the grapes I took. They were a memento. I think he'd understand.
All right, so you can make your way back over towards Alaya and Elmer's house. And Elmer will indeed finally leave his attic in order to help you. Though he makes his way down the stairs a little tentatively and is reluctant to leave the house. For this he will. And so him and Alaya as well help you dig a grave and have a proper burial. You guys can choose where you think Cassador would want it.
Probably up here, yeah.
Yeah, why not like under the tree?
Yeah, makes sense to me. I will mark that. If any group ever visits there again, there'll be a gravestone there next time. Actually, let me write that down too. All right. So after managing to find a nice spot to bury Cassador, you have sort of a pleasant little burial. Aylmer is distraught. He cries a little bit at your small little funeral that you hold. And some of the other people from Belisandre also just come by to pay respects, though they didn't know who she was or what she meant to everybody. They just kind of stopped by to show support as Aylmer insists that everybody pay their respects to a Belisandre native. And so you spend maybe another day. Alaya and Aylmer allow you to stay with them for that day in Belisandre as you make those sort of preparations. Alaya cooks you guys a big meal, and you have some of his pie for dessert and everything. And as the next day rolls around, when you've finished burying Cassadora, and now can decide what to do next.
Well, we're gonna go home, right?
Yeah.
One last visit for a while.
Probably.
Very well. Then, if nobody has any different plans, then you guys make your way back to Stony Brook. You can chart a path for me. I won't do it for you. You can tell me how you guys want to go back to Stony Brook. There's a lot of different options, so it's up to you guys.
You guys want to go around?
right.
Okay.
Circle
Either like
the,
that or just like that.
Yeah, you could cut through Deep Green Domain. You could go along the tree line like you did last time. There's also the option of trying to hitch a ride with Burno to the fishery up at Stony Brook.
No.
I added that option because I knew that.
I don't know why
you
y'all hate him, man.
Absolutely not.
Okay,
Would
no.
probably be the fastest way.
I
Yeah,
don't
right?
care. We have horses.
Yeah, we'll go the easiest way for the horses.
Very well. Yeah, so you make
I
your way
would rather
quickly.
crawl the whole way upstairs.
You make your way back to Silken Shore along the road, and then wind your way west towards along the tree line around Deep Green Domain, giving the forest a bit of a wide berth so that you don't have to make your way through the rocky depths of the evergreen woods. And eventually, as you make your way along, you rejoin that same road that you traveled first with Casadora as you made your way back to Stony Brook to heal Lady Sullivan. And eventually, again, branching off back towards the Riverlands and seeing Stony Brook off in the distance. This journey takes, again, multiple days, but I'm going to fast-track you there because why not?
You want to fast track us to the Ellen Tretchen nest
Yeah.
so we can fight two of them? Get the last hurrah.
Get the rematch.
Mm-hmm. I'll fuck him up this time.
Covity needs a partner. That's the dagger name.
Can yeah, you can go hang out in that burned out meth lab too if you want.
Why, is there something there?
Not my finest work.
Not anymore, there's not.
Oh no, but that makes it sound like there was.
Yeah, we killed them and then blew their bodies
Burned
up.
it down.
Yeah, this
and
is
blew
the part where I
pocket.
revealed that secretly there was a hidden room where those alchemists were keeping 20 innocent hostages.
Yeah.
Nice.
But no, eventually you begin to make your way back along the path, and in the distance you see the Riverlands and the streams that cross back through it as you return to Stony Brook once more, and of course the orphanage that lies just to the north of it along the tree line. So do you have anything you wanted to do in Stony Brook, or are you heading to the orphanage?
Yeah, I want to see that dog. I don't. Never mind.
I just want to go straight to the
Yeah, I'm
You
going to
mean
the orphanage.
Kier?
2 more hours of dog petting RP.
Kier?
I literally
Come-
never
come
named it
on.
because I don't care.
Kier or Credo? Sorry.
Nah, I'm good. I'll go
Yeah.
see the friends.
All right. So you make your way winding back through Stony Brook and to the north towards the orphanage. And it's been quite some time since you visited. And you feel as though perhaps you guys have changed quite a bit. You feel older, more experienced. But the orphanage itself is as you left it. Whew, you thought I was going to say burned to the ground, huh?
I did
yeah,
DM one of the
yeah.
players like, hey, and before they're dead, so.
No, the orphanage is as you left it.
But once you get inside, there's blood everywhere.
That'd be pretty mean.
No, when you get inside, there's nothing there. What?
Maybe there's a demon for us to kill.
You
Surprise.
hear a whistle in the background. You turn around.
No.
It's the guy with the one eye. What?
I've
Hang
gotta
on a
kill
little
somebody
bit
else.
more, Chibi. We'll get there. So, as you make your way back down the path with Pavlova still in tow, you eventually see the old renovated church that makes up the Stony Brook Orphanage. And actually out front is Sister Elizabeth, who is tending to the flower garden that sits out front. You can see some of the birds still resting up on top of the roofs as they always did. And she's not facing you. She's tending to the flowers as you make your way past the well and back down that familiar path.
Oh. Shh.
Do we need to make have Gail make a stealth roll?
Yes, please.
Sure.
Stealth roll right up against her.
There's your stealth roll.
You trip and fall into her.
Oh, cop out.
She hears you cast a spell because it has verbal components.
I
verbal
still
component.
know where you are, Brewer whispers.
Yeah, I won't make you roll anymore. I could make you still roll, but I won't.
I slap him, so he has to roll a con check.
You don't know where I am.
As
I
you,
do.
Fuck your contract.
as you make your way back up to Sister Elizabeth, who's tending to the flowers, you're invisible. She does not notice you. What do you do?
Wait, quick question. Was she the one that Cause tried to...
No.
No,
Okay.
that was, that was
Never
Amelie.
mind then.
Okay.
Put that out there.
Oh no, something's wrong with the others?
You shout that out, and she just sort of springs up and spins around and does not see you. She looks right through you, Gail, but just goes, "What? Sorry, what's happening? Oh, you're back."
Hi,
Of course we're back.
sister.
She just kind of, you see her keep spinning around. She's looking kind of like in the bushes. She cranes her neck to kind of look up at the roof. I hear Gale, but I don't
Oh,
see
this
him.
is Gale. Something happened when he was, well,
I'm a figment of your imagination.
He's invisible.
Yell up here
somewhere.
when he says it.
Oh, I didn't think he was that
that close. That close?
Hello.
He's
Yeah, I'm not close.
he's invisible. She just kind of reaches her arms out and kind of swings them around in front of her. Gale, are you there?
No, I'm not right there. I'm right here. And I'll appear. Boop. See?
Oh,
I'm beside.
well, you gave me quite a fright. You're all back. How was your journey?
We saved the world.
Oh, we
Guitar.
took care of that thing that, Lady Sullivan wanted us to do. It took a little longer than we expected, but
Yes, you were gone for some time.
Went pretty much everywhere around Middlemere, so
I see. Well, I suppose the kids will want to hear all the stories.
of course.
Probably going to have to tell them several times.
This is Pavi.
Oh, it's nice to meet you. Were you traveling with them? And Pavlova just says, yes, I'm a researcher. I was working with Lady Sullivan as well. Well, it's nice to meet you. You're welcome to come in with the others.
wow, Pat would fit right in here.
Yeah.
And Sister Elizabeth just sort of Elizabeth.
See, and then
DM is tired and has been talking too much. Sister Elizabeth. I had to make sure I got it right that time, or I would have never been able to forgive myself. That blonde girl welcomes you all inside. She says, well, you should come in. Everyone else will want to see you.
Of course.
I'm hungry. Hope we can eat.
I feel slightly
yeah,
bigger
actually,
than everyone.
by the time you guys make it back to Stony Brook, it was sort of afternoon, and then you make it towards the orphanage. It's sort of maybe 4-ish, 5 o'clock now.
Dinner time.
Indeed. You guys remember that the orphanage usually eats dinner around 6:30ish, almost near 7, depending on how quickly they can get everything ready. Sometimes when the
We
kids
actually
are,
got here a half an hour earlier. We just
when,
wandered around, so we didn't have to do any more work.
Indeed.
Need any more potatoes that need killing?
Sometimes when the kids are a little rambunctious, it can be a little bit harder to prepare dinner. So sometimes it fluctuates, but you estimate that it's probably around dinner time as Sister Elizabeth leads you guys back into the orphanage. I have no idea what state I left this place in.
Beginning a campaign state.
Wow, perfect. That's
Wow.
not bad. That's not bad.
DM pats himself on the back.
Yes.
Love it.
Can't help but think these birds look like hands, but like very disfigured hands.
What?
Chad is watching me on the other page right now, so you sound
Oh.
extra insane to
I mean, these hands are hands.
Hands are hands, Tim. Yep.
These birds are hands? I
Yep.
think they kind of look like skulls, but like cow skulls.
Like bones, yeah.
Yeah.
Very frigid. I can see this one has a beak at least.
Wow, those birds don't even look like they moved.
They're little statues.
Yeah.
A basilisk must have gotten into the roof again. But you guys make your way back into the orphanage, where a roaring hearth is off to the side, as always, and as per her usual routine, as the others prepare dinner, Mother Margaret is huddled over by the fire with her shawl wrapped up around her.
Man, nothing like a hearth and home.
And
Sorry, I had to.
Where'd she...
yeah, that's just a little shout out for all you hearth homies out there. Shout
Yeah, I
out
was gonna say,
to,
where'd you get that quote from? Did you hear it whispered in the woods?
God damn it.
Yeah.
Making your way back into the orphanage, things are as you left them, and the kids are working hard to do their best to aid Sister Amandine, who is trying to tidy things up. And as you guys enter, a bunch of the kids kind of turn to see the door open. First, just looking at Sister Elizabeth, and then noticing all of the rest of you arriving as well. And a bunch of the kids all start to kind of crowd around you guys as they just race towards you and are all simultaneously shouting at you to tell them all about where you've been. And then hearing a commotion, you see more of them start to pile in as doors open and some of them sprint down the stairs, stumbling slightly as they all make their way to greet you.
Kids, again, forgot
The
about that
little ones.
part.
Let's make sure none of the older kids pick on Pavlova, right?
Hey,
Yeah.
it's
Aren't we the older kids?
True.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
pick on
and I-
Pavlova sometimes.
yeah, so
I don't.
Remember this massive crowd, everybody?
Yeah, I'm waiting for them just to get inundated. Roll dex checks for Stampede.
Holy moly. Do we pick up more?
I recognize everyone so far.
So far, everyone is recognized.
Blank.
Especially her. I remember her. Best picture.
I wonder who that is.
I didn't actually write her name. I didn't write any of these kids' names.
That's Vanille.
Ah,
For Neil.
yes,
I'm
my
sorry.
favorite for some reason.
And so the kids all begin to crowd around you, each of them shouting over each other and demanding a story from your journeys.
I think her name's Saoirse.
Yes. Yeah, this is the memory testing moment. It was a test for me too.
It's actually Shersha.
Yeah, it was Saoirse and
Saoirse.
Amandine, Elsia.
Well, I know.
Over here we got
I know-
Niall. Over here we got Eddard. This here is Rory. Got Tristan over here.
Rory.
We got
This is
Leon.
the one that refused to do his bed. That's the one that was chopping. No, wait.
Yeah, that was chopping wood with me.
Chopping
Rebecca.
wood. Water boy.
Water.
Read the Belissander
You read the
boy.
Belissander book?
Nerd.
And Millie.
He's gonna be psyched.
Say Mill?
Millie.
Millie.
We
So the
can't tell the
kids
kid
all.
that read the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
We can't tell the kid that read the Belissander book that we came through here with Casador and didn't tell him.
And didn't. Yeah, I know. I thought we were
Wow,
going
that's pretty
to.
fucked up.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna go there before we went on our journey, but then I was like,
Well, I figured you guys would be in a bit of a rush to help
yeah, it's probably smarter.
Casador, and
It's
so
okay, we can gaslight him
I
now.
figured we would not do 2 visits to the orphanage. We would do 1 to save us some time.
Yep.
Sister
Because
Amandine
we'd
makes her
still
way
be
over
here.
and kind of greets Yuruva and then goes and hugs Kaj.
Hug.
Oh.
Oh.
As the kids all shouting, some of the kids are holding like cooking utensils, like ladles and stuff that are still kind of covered in food. Clearly, they were helping with the meal, and they all abandoned that endeavor to come and see you. You can see some of them with food stains on their cheeks and clothing, as they all shout for you to regale them with stories of your journey. But Mother Margaret sort of climbs her way out of the comfortable sofa by the hearth and makes her way over, kind of quieting the children as she goes, just sort of touching them on the shoulder and hush now, children. And then she just kind of greets each of you in turn, just sort of giving you small hugs and saying, welcome back.
It's good to see you.
Aye.
And then she just sort of looking at each of you and says, you all look so much older now.
Are you sure?
To the cost of saving the world.
It does feel like it.
I think I look exactly the same.
Well, maybe it's just the travels, but you all must be quite hungry. We're cooking dinner, so should be ready soon.
I'm starving.
We haven't eaten the whole trip.
We ran out of money.
No.
Gale spent all his money on
We
sweets
ate
and
pie
bread.
like a day or 2 ago.
Well, you're in luck. We're having a roast tonight with green beans and potatoes.
Oh.
That sounds really good.
Well,
Not like the kind that kills us, right?
no, not quite.
I love potatoes.
Yeah, the little sprites in the garden, they haven't given us much trouble since the lot of you quelled that whole uprising.
Well, I'm just saying. I do got a fancy new sword, so.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll put
Yeah.
it on for you too.
how is my garden?
Well, Sister Elizabeth has been looking after your garden there, Gail, so it's in good shape.
Oh, thank goodness.
Tiv's gonna like directly point out this kid and give him like a very fierce look. You better have been chopping that wood.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Good.
Mother Margaret just sort of says, you all must be exhausted. You can leave your things back in your old places upstairs and come on down for dinner then.
Or
Okay.
And so you managed to shake off most of the kids as Sister Elizabeth, Sister Amandine, and Mother Margaret kind of herd them back towards the kitchen to finish with the meal.
Please tell me there's one kid just like holding out to Timur's leg as he's trying to like do that walking thing.
Yeah, sure. And you guys sort of show Pavlova around as you make your way back through the familiar halls of the Stony Brook Orphanage, back upstairs towards your old places to leave your things.
I am keeping my sword on me, just like tying it around my waist now instead, though.
Sure, very well.
Just got that motherfucker. Like I'm.
Fair enough.
I mean, Rugal always has daggers on.
All right.
Weirdo.
They
I set
ain't
down
been
my pack
killed
of
yet.
6 different weapons that all protrude out of it because they're pole arms. Literally looks like we came back from a war.
Rugal sets down a clinking bag of just basically clothes.
Yeah, don't let the kids get into the potions.
Yeah.
One
Most
of them's
of
gonna
them
grow
are
a beard.
gone. No, I gave that to
Gale
Gale.
has that one, yeah. Surprised he hasn't used it yet.
Right, excuse me. Use the restroom.
Hey, gosh, what happened there?
It's good to be home.
And so as you leave your things back up stairs where you left them, and take a few of them along with you, you make your way back downstairs towards the kitchen and the dining chambers, where most of the kids have already begun to set up. You can smell the tantalizing scent of dinner wafting through the air as Mother Margaret ushers you, as she always has, into the dining hall to take your seat. And all the kids are lined up and chattering amongst themselves, ready for dinner to start.
Where do we sit?
Where do we
Important
sit?
question, how's my beard?
Okay, so Gail, you chug the potion and you begin to just immediately sprout a beard. And now with this potion, you can choose whatever color you want it to be, and you can choose whatever style you want it to be too.
Oh, okay, hold on, please.
There's right and wrong answers here. I believe in you.
This might take me a minute.
Well, in addition to that, Gil, as you chug this potion, you actually drink about half of it when the effect starts to take hold, so you actually have another dose still in that bottle.
Yeah.
Yatta!
Give me sippies.
And if you got sippies, you could get like a mustache, man.
I'm assuming it gives the mustache too.
Yeah, you can. It includes all facial hair. You can have a mustache.
No. I mean, it could be more than just 2 doses. Like if you do sippies later, maybe you only just get like a mustache. Then you get multiple mustaches.
Yeah, can I have the other dose?
Of course.
I'm chugging it right now.
Why don't you
As soon
just
as he hands
grow
it
out
over.
your beard? Like, that's such
So
a waste.
Expedite
like every other morning.
expedite the process. And I know what I want.
You guys sort of take your spots along the dining table as Sister Elizabeth and Sister Amandine begin to bring in some of the food on large platters and place them throughout the very long table where everyone eats. Sister Amandine kind of does a double take as she passes you, Gail. Just, I must have been caught up in the excitement of your return. I didn't notice you'd grown so much facial hair.
Ah, yes. Crazy what adventure does for a man.
Well, it's a good look. Keep at the hard work.
Thanks.
As they continue past you to begin to set the table. Is that the style you want, Gil?
That is, yes.
Very well. Then can I show everybody the style that you've chosen?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty, give me 1 sec.
Would you like find a Google picture?
Yeah. So I looked up Genasi with beards. I found the perfect one.
Here he is.
Oh, that picture?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that picture.
Like a beard much
That's
like Gustav Cruz.
Yeah.
That's he's the only one I've seen. So
Yeah, makes sense.
So Gale has sprouted a long wispy beard as he enters the dining hall to join you all at the dinner table.
Good evening. Good evening. Hello. Hello.
Wow. Wow.
Nice.
Hi,
I'm
Mama.
gonna get food all over it.
It's a snack for later.
Very fancy.
Please.
He's still finding ways to take food to bed.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's Tim's.
Gotta be
What
efficient.
does it do?
I do
No,
not. Okay,
Tim's,
I do.
Tim's has bent bread.
Yeah.
That's right. I eat it before I go to bed. There's a difference.
I think Timber eats it in his sleep sometimes.
True.
Emotional support.
It's reliable, you know.
Why do you need emotional support?
With you around, who doesn't?
Ruva's just mad at the whole non-orphan needing emotional support in an orphanage filled with orphans.
Sorry, can't hear you all the way down there. The hearth is kind of loud.
Oh, Tim.
Suddenly, he hears
Yeah,
the
what's up?
wails of the dead. As
Do you want a beard?
Yeah.
Here, take this.
Oh, nice. Big sippy.
Wait, are you sipping that while we're in here?
Oh, I'm chugging it right now.
Just apparate a beard out of thin air.
Yeah.
So you two can choose the color and style of the facial hair.
Oh, I'm going for a long wizard beard.
Very well.
That is the
Yorick?
same color as Gale's. So.
Yeah, it begins to sort of sprout out and grow as you chug it, and it just sort of reaches down about towards your belt.
Nice.
Oh,
as
gee.
you,
Well, if I do say so, honestly.
Indubitably.
It's been quite a while since we've been back here.
I do declare.
Are we doing voices now?
Don't you
Who
always
are
do a
you?
voice?
I don't remember you.
I don't reckon we've met.
Oh, some
I'm
people
Sir
these days.
Gale.
Ah,
Sir
I am
Gale.
Sir Tibber.
Sir
Ah,
Tibber.
pleasure.
Ah. God, I like this one.
and so you guys eat your hearty meal as you do your little voices and enjoy the new facial hair that you have. And as dinner begins to kind of wrap up, a bunch of the kids during dinner sort of pestered you guys to tell some stories. So it's up to you guys if you tell them of your exploits or not.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, in as like kid way as you could, like.
yeah,
Yeah.
like instead of being like, we brutally murdered Fishman, it'd be like,
We
suddenly,
broke into rich
big-
people's houses.
big fish suddenly tried to attack us, but we got away safely.
yeah,
I told
you
him everything.
you you adapt the story as you tell it through dinner. You sort of you lighten it a little bit to make it more like a children's fable as you begin to tell them what happened on your journey across Middlemere.
Gale,
And,
are you gonna mention you're not human?
Guys, I'm not fully human. I'm sorry. I'm actually half orc.
Which
That's
happened?
a good point, Sir Tibber. This might come as a shock to everybody. I just look like I'm human. Haha. Yeah, it's quite heartbreaking, I know. I'm sorry. I
My
know.
heart pains for you every day.
I mean, a lot of us aren't human. Like, I mean, they're cat
Look.
figures.
This isn't about everyone else, it's about me.
My heart breaks for you. You're so strong. You
Thank you, Sir Tibber. You're so
Sure.
kind.
The struggle.
brings a tear to my eye.
Brings a tear to my beard.
It's inspiring.
Yes, if I might say so.
I feel like I feel like I could outdo you guys in a beard contest.
I feel like you're a girl.
What does that even mean?
Girls can't grow beards.
Yeah, but Tibbs just grew it that fast, and clearly he
he's
can't
not-
do that.
Nope, sorry, it's all gone. There's no more.
It's magic.
Nope, well, you don't have it. So not magic for you.
Oh, it's
It's magic.
you know.
So you guys get up to your usual bickering at dinner as the kids slowly begin to filter out, some of them looking rather tired, as everyone wraps up dinner and the plates begin to empty, and the two sisters begin to bring them back towards the kitchen and clear them, roping in some of the children to help. As you guys are sort of about to stand up and maybe aid them with the cleaning up of the dinner table and with the cutlery and the plates, as you make it out into the hall, you hear a loud knocking at the door. All the
Let me
way
go
past
get
the
that.
dining hall and all the way at the front entrance.
Oh, I'll go
Of
get
the
it.
Rose is immediately
go.
gonna start going.
God.
Let the
Yes.
gentleman handle it.
Wonder if it's the Miss Sullivan.
Oh, I hope so. Alright, I got an idea. So, Ruva, you go outside, and then, like, we'll do like a little eye connection, the three of us, and we'll all summon our swords.
I
Timber,
think-
you can't
why are we
summon it,
drawing?
but...
Why are we drawing our stuff on an old lady?
Oh, you think it's the old
I
lady?
don't think it's her.
Oh, I thought it was the
Because
Oh.
we did this whole thing for the. Or what do you mean?
I thought it was.
never
I thought
mind.
it was the douchebag, the one that
just
came from the very
assume-
beginning.
It's
Remember?
not
just-
nighttime.
I just assume everyone's out to kill
What do you mean
us.
it's not nighttime? It's evening.
It is the evening.
but,
The
like,
sun is
it's
kind of
evening.
It's just
approaching. It's approaching sundown.
He came like super light though.
Yeah, but we also told him not to. So
Well, it doesn't
Alright.
seem like he has sense.
maybe
Unless
he's
they're
listening.
lying.
All right, well, we need to go here.
Let's go see who it is.
First, I must make a formal apology to Pavlova. I forgot to bring her, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We just couldn't see her. It's fine.
I
Sorry.
couldn't give her.
She's tiny. She's easy to miss. So as you guys make your way out of the dining hall and across the entrance hallway of the orphanage, you can hear that kind of knocking occur once more as you make your way towards the door. It's not loud or furious knocking. It doesn't
Yep.
sound urgent. It's just sort of a very normal at the door.
I take a little peek out the window.
All right. You can kind of only really see the side because they seem to be standing up on the landing, the stone landing in front of the door. But Gil, you get a glimpse of shining, gleaming armor.
Oh,
Oh.
it's not who I thought it was.
Okay.
I'll open the
Rufus
door.
could open the door here.
Is it the dude?
God damn it!
It might be. It might be the knights that
So
we said to.
yeah, go ahead. I wanted to.
The guards that we said to come check every once in a while. Maybe it's
Yeah.
them.
Maybe.
As you open the door, you are face to face with Sir
Is that
Joseph,
Joseph? It's Joseph! I knew it!
Oh,
Riley, and Mila.
Whoa, Mila.
And
There you go, Chibi.
as you open the door, Joseph just sort of, you see recognition splash across his face as he goes, well, good. I was hoping to find you here.
What do we do?
Oh, it's been a while.
Been a while.
Well,
Oh, okay, sorry.
indeed it has. And, well, purpose for our visit is, well, I've heard that you've been rather busy.
You could say that.
Mhm.
In a sense.
You see, at the Kingsguard we've got a rather eager spy master who's been quite excited lately. He's been chattering our ears off about the exploits of several adventurers, and I do believe he means you.
Is that a bad thing? Good thing?
Are you trying to recruit us?
Well, from what he describes, it's a good thing. Lad.
Ah, okay.
Oh, then please come in.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please recruit us.
And, well, we were hoping to catch you because, you see, from what we hear from our spy master, you all seem quite capable folk, and, well, the Kingsguard, in a couple of months, are holding recruitment trials. And this spy master of ours, he's decided to personally vouch for you and invite you to the trials. So if it interests you, we'd like to invite you to take part and, well, potentially join our ranks to keep Middlemere safe.
Well,
Wow.
I have a question.
Yes?
Would this have conflict with the Red Order? If hypothetically speaking, I became a member.
Out of character, the Kingsguard protect all of Middlemere, as they mentioned to you before, all the way at the beginning of the campaign. The king actually prefers that they don't sit around and be his bodyguards.
Yeah.
He likes to proactively send them throughout the realm and protect the people instead, rather than just only protecting him. And so, if there were demons or devils in Middlemere, the Kingsguard would be involved with stopping them.
I'm in.
And as you guys are kind of considering it, Riley actually kind of elbows Joseph and says, show him the thing. And Joseph just goes, all right. Well, our little spy master, he said that if I couldn't convince you, then I should show you this. And he pulls a small little folded piece of parchment out of his hand and just holds it
Nice.
out to whoever takes it.
Riva will take it, but she's gonna be kind of mad if what she thinks is on this is actually on this. Okay. Yeah, she's gonna look at the piece of paper.
You take the little piece of parchment out and unfold it. And as you unfold it, Joseph continues. He says, if we couldn't convince you, then our spy master said to tell you that this would catch your interest. You see, he's going after this. And you unfold the parchment to see.
Yeah, fucking
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's not
Ruva-
the devil.
Riva immediately shows. Oh my gosh, you guys have beards now. Oh yeah. Sorry, I just saw that. Riva shows the parchment. Ah, it seems we have common interests.
Well, he did say that would catch your fancy. Suppose he was right. Now then, the trials are in a couple of months in Eudora. Come on by the barracks, and we'll be holding them there.
Riva looks at Kosh.
Kaj nods.
Thank you for the invitation, and thank the spy master for us. What is his name?
Don't worry,
Or her?
you'll meet him soon enough.
Okay.
Now then, in 4 months, 13th day of the month. Make sure you're in
4.
Eudora, and that'll be when the trial happens.
Got it.
Is it a team tournament?
You will be able to work with others, but he kind of gives you a small little kind of mischievous grin and says, trial changes all the time. It's got to be the unexpected, of course, right?
Oh.
But you can use the time until then to prepare and do what you need to do. But we'll be waiting for you.
The hell do I do to prepare?
We train.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Gotta get Pav.
Gotta
Some
get used to
tips
this
from
new
Pav.
sword.
All right, Tib, it's you and me.
He
Sorry?
actually kind of looks past you all and says, you're the researcher, right?" And Pavlova says, yes. Well, the Kingsguard is mostly for knights, but I think our spy master is going to want to talk to you as well. So you should be there too." And she
I
just
think
sort
all
of
4 of us can vouch for her.
nods
No, I
enthusiastically.
mean,
All right, okay, I'll be there.
Well,
Very well
okay.
then. We really should be going. We got to get back to Yadar.
all
It's nice to
right.
speak with
Thank
you all,
you.
and we'll be seeing you in 4 months then.
I'll see you then.
It was
Safe
good
travels.
to see you again.
Have a good one, man.
I have a quick question.
Yep.
Was it this one that like looked at me all concerned when we first met? Wasn't it her? Who, like had special eyes or something?
I don't remember that.
I don't recall that being the case, no.
There was one of of them, like their group, that like looked at me weird because it was something. Oh well.
I don't recall
Doesn't
anything of
matter.
that sort, but
Oh,
it
well.
might have happened.
Weren't you like hiding in a bush? I would have looked at you weird
He was doing
too.
real things, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
No, we
I
were
was
camping
And
in the
getting
middle
frogs.
of the thing.
What do you mean?
No, and then
Getting
you were
frogs.
catching frogs. Okay.
Yeah, he was out there like fishing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
I
I
don't
got a
recall
good
that.
frog.
I don't recall that, but we can always go back and check the files.
You killed it.
So the 3 knights of the Kingsguard excuse themselves and make their way back down the path after they say their goodbyes, heading back towards Stonybrook. Leaving you all alone in the entrance hall of the orphanage as the sun begins to set over the riverlands.
You guys want to see that sight again?
Yeah,
For old time's sake?
we're gonna be busy again, sounds like, so.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Oh no, I'm slipping. Oh no, I can't.
Run off.
I can't.
You
Oh,
gotta
oh,
you
no.
gotta alt move when you have a
Mhm.
drawing on you, otherwise the drawing snaps to the grid too.
It's fine. It's molting.
So you guys make your way back out front of the orphanage and you invite Pavlova along, I suppose, unless you specifically want her to stay behind.
Have you
show
stay
her.
here? You can't see us.
And you make your way
You weren't allowed
back.
at dinner, and you were.
You make your way back along to the western exterior of the orphanage, where that ladder sits. And did we lose some? Did we lose some of Timber's beard?
It's fine. I'll draw it again. I'll draw it again. Here, getting rid of it.
As you guys make your way back along the side towards that ladder where you always climb to the roof to watch the sunset. With Pavlova now tagging along behind you. And so one by one you each climb up the ladder to take your place on the shingles of the orphanage roof.
It really was a basilisk.
I'm gonna call out City. Sit with us.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say you're just gonna call out like caw caw. So weirdo.
There he is.
And so each of you grabs a spot on the roof. Gail, I'm assuming you're going to.
Yes, I am. I was scared to move the beard. Oh God, see that's why.
You gotta alt move with it.
The potion wears off so fast.
It's fine. It's not worth it. I'll just fix it later.
Okay,
It's
I'm already
not fun.
kind of growing a beard, a little longer than in my picture anyway, so I'll just do with that.
Well, aren't you lucky?
I mean, you don't have to breathe, so.
Oh,
That's
did you guys
rude.
lose
Yes,
your
I do.
beards?
No, we didn't, actually. You just have bad vision.
Oh, okay. I mean, man, it sure would be nice to be able to, just grow one again.
Yeah, sucks for you, doesn't it?
Ruva grows an extremely long beard.
Very well. An extensively long beard sprouts from your face.
Ridiculously long for no reason.
There we go. There we go.
It's unkempt, good sir.
Well, of course. I don't have time for that. I'm done doing scholarly things.
Ah, yes.
Like looking at a sunset.
Cleanliness is next to scholarliness.
Kaj is gonna point at Ruva and then point down here at the other.
Oh
Hmm?
yeah, I didn't even notice I was on the bottom of the map. Thank you.
What?
Disregard. It didn't happen.
That's my eyes.
Nothing,
Vendor, tell me.
So each of you takes your place up on top of the shingles of the orphanage roof, and you spend the evening thinking about the offer you were given by the members of the King's Guard.
Massive.
It's you?
Ma!
Ah!
I kill it.
No!
And that's
the
20!
only crit he's ever fucking rolled.
Fuck this game.
Roll damage on that boy. You could probably.
Oh, if it's two-handed, this is gonna hurt.
No, it's one-handed. It's more damage actually.
No.
Sorry about that, bruh.
I'm taking 15.
And Gale was
No.
the traitor the whole time.
Yeah, it's me. It's me.
It's
So-
all because of the beard.
To continue, you all gaze out at the sunset, considering the prospect that has been laid out before you, as well as the journey that now sits behind you.
Sunset, sunset, sunset pod. Let's go.
Oh,
Like
it's
it's fucking
so
Pokemon. What is this?
pretty. Say it
Hell
again.
yeah.
Like I'm playing
it
Pokemon Arceus right now.
What do
Don't.
you think is gonna fly by? Say it.
And so,
Oh, is that a ho?
Oh
you-
ho!
as you scribble over the map,
Sorry.
and as you think about the journey that you've gone on, Silversong comes to a close. But that's far from the end of the story of the 4 orphans and their stray cat. And so, eventually, we will return to Middlemere to pick up again in another season. But for now, Silversong comes to an end.
Wow.
Sorry,
Yeah.
you were missing a fishy and a goose.
We did it.
3 orphans and 2.
Bro.
2 orphans,
Y'all are foul, bro.
3.5 orphans.
2 orphans, a half orc, and whatever the hell Ruva is.
What? An orphan?
Nah, you're a weird thing that changes people.
Their parents were
You
murdered.
were your parents.
Their
No,
parents were murdered when they were a child.
you're also not really Ruva. Or
They are Ruva.
personality. Nope, you're weird.
But this is their original form.
Why are you hot?
Little form.
So, Well, let's go over to our other screen. I can't do the usual question of next week anymore.
Sure you can. I'll be there.
Yep, same. I'm free.
But now that we have the freed up slot, I need to shift Whispers in the Woods around, and I need to find some time slots for the campaign that will be starting soon.
Which is?
A secret,
Damn it.
because there are options, and I'm gonna let them pick. This is where Silversong comes to a close. So we can do the Q&A right now.
Man, I'm
Before we wrap up, if anyone is hungry or tired and needs to head out, please feel free to do so. Don't feel obligated to stay.
I'm so glad this was a much shorter stream.
Yeah, we thought it would
I'm
be.
so
but
sorry, man.
Psych. We tricked you. We actually made you sit here for 3 hours. Got you.
Got him.
I tried not to say as many things.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I always overestimate how things will go. I always assume that things will go far quicker than they do, and that's just to make sure that I'm always prepped for next session and everything and working ahead. But then things always slow down, and I go, oh, okay, I could have probably relaxed a little bit more. But yeah, so questions and such can be asked. You can ask me questions about the campaign. Certain things I won't answer just because it might come up in the future, but I will answer other things if I feel like they need an answer. And you can ask the players stuff too, though they also probably will not answer certain questions if they think that it will come up again later in future seasons.
Gail will tell you everything.
The very first question we got was what the genuine fuck is up with Tib's parents.
Okay, I
Which you
can't
can
answer
if
this
you want.
fully, but I can give you guys a little bit. The two parents you saw were his biological parents, and they work for the Godfreys, or they worked. They don't much anymore, because as you heard, Uger has his own thing in the city. He's an herbalist, and Mary is paralyzed now from something that I can't tell you because it might come up. But they didn't have anything to do with it. With him getting sent to the orphanage. That's as much as I can tell you.
No. But that's the thing, man. They didn't have anything to do with it, but they're still alive, and they didn't go find their freaking child. They just left him in the fucking orphanage.
They didn't know that's where he was.
They didn't know where their child was, and they were like,
I can't
that's
tell you.
fine.
I can't tell you all.
As
so
a person
much.
who has the context, I will say that it's not a particularly evil thing. I think you're a little bit overboard. They're fine.
Okay, well, all
Ruben
Ruva knows, all Ruva knows is
Yeah,
someone
for your context,
pretending to be
it's
an
fine.
orphan has many parents.
I guess the best way I can describe it is I was going for a different take on why you're an orphan instead of it just parents are
I'm
dead.
going for like an artistic take on.
Yeah, heaven forbid I try to get creative. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that anymore.
I could have, killed off the parents, but I was like, let's go higher concept here.
Nah, I think it's just fine.
No.
Tib's
It
backstory
makes
is
it
great.
makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, no,
Plus,
it's just
it allowed
a
me
little
to add a bunch of stuff with Glory Bow. The other question we got was, DM, did they really ruin Rola's end boss monologuing? In a single word, yes. He would have kept talking if they let him, but I don't blame them for not letting him talk. It is the constant thing of why are the heroes letting the boss just
Yeah.
the obvious bad guy monologue. So I totally understand why they would just cut him right off. But it does mean that they did get absolutely no context as for what his motivations were.
Yeah, and why he was so mad at like why they were crying. Why are you still crying?
So
I
like,
wanted to stop him immediately, but I was like,
I understand.
Tibbs is
I
stunned
know.
here. Like,
Well, I wanted to too, but I'm like, but this is the bad guy monologue.
Yeah, I was like, I want to let him talk though, because I'm kind of
Like,
curious.
I'm always gonna
Yeah.
do the monologue because I like to explain villains' motivations, but it's perfectly fine if you guys want to cut them off. That's all right.
Okay.
But I could actually tell you what his motivation was if you want to know.
Yep.
Since I feel like he's gone now,
Mm-hmm.
so it probably will not come up, and I don't think there's any way for you to learn it otherwise. So I can explain it if you guys want to know.
I want to know.
Yeah,
You should
or-
do it in the voice and everything. Relive the dialogue.
Yeah.
Well, I had it all in my head back then. I don't have it in my head anymore. I deleted that as soon as you guys killed him. But for all intents and purposes, Rolla was lying to you guys for most of that time.
Yeah.
Rolla was not a descendant of Galvadiel Arborwing. He was, in fact, a descendant of the Dragonborn who killed him.
No.
I figured.
I
And
didn't
so
even put that together.
Rolla, though he did not have his compatriots anymore, as you saw lots of dead Dragonborn around, Rolla was a descendant of the fractured part of that monastery that wanted to use Lilendil's bones as a weapon.
Mhm.
And obviously, both Yeren Kull and Galvadil Arborwing opposed that, and that's why they were killed. And so you saw, even within the Silver Chasm, all these dead Dragonborn. And that was part of the sort of schism that formed in this group when Galvadil and Yeren tried to basically stop the others from using it as a weapon, and they sealed it off. And so a bunch of the Dragonborn died in that sort of little civil war they had amongst themselves.
Okay.
And so
place.
after a bunch of them died, they were sort of a fractured small little group. And so Rolla was really the last remnants of the group that wanted to use it as a weapon.
Okay. Man,
Um,
I really wish I hadn't failed all of those insight checks.
Indeed.
I
And so
did so many. I did
so-
so many.
so Rolla actually placed himself in that tavern when he was waiting for you guys. And he realized that you guys were going to pursue the monastery. And he knew that he could not, because he'd actually already been there when you guys talked to him. And he knew that Yeren Kull's spirit would never allow him to have it.
Oh.
He would never be worthy of it, as he was a part of the faction that opposed Yeren Kull's ideals. And so he waited for you guys to go and get it for him, because he knew that he could never get it himself.
Oh.
And so in the background, he was waiting for you guys. He saw you guys leave off to Lavender Isle and was like, well, hopefully they'll get it. I will move on and go try to find the other piece.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was in the process of trying to find the other piece when you guys showed up.
And
And
find the
then
other piece for him.
he opportunistically joined up with you guys in order to just sort of use you guys to steal the other piece as well. And so he came along with them. And you guys were being very sneaky about the tablets and how there was two of them. He knew about that the entire time. He just kind of let
Yeah.
you guys believe that. He just didn't say anything. He just let you do what you
Well,
wanted.
that's what was so weird when they just showed up at the door with Pavlova, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, cool, we caught up." And I was like, "He's not gonna say anything about how we had both pieces." I'm like,
Tibbs
"No, you
didn't
should
trust
really
him
kill
the
that
entire
guy."
time.
Well,
No, you
to
really
be-
should kill that guy.
to be fair, the entire door and the keystones had dissolved into dust, so he wouldn't. If he hadn't known, he wouldn't have been able to know at that point.
No, but there was no way to get in without the keystones. So we must have had both of them in order to get the door open, right?
I'm just saying, from if he did have no context, he
because there
wouldn't
was
have been
no
able to know.
door.
There was no
Okay,
more
yeah.
door anymore.
Yeah.
And so if he hadn't known any of that, then he would have still been in the dark, but he did know all that. And so the perspective of the group that Rolla was a part of was that one of the central themes of Silversong that I attempted to kind of make a through line through a lot of different characters was the concept of kinslaying, and that sort of sin, if you will. One's own family wronging you, as Lilandil was attacked by her own kin. You all were, of course, orphans, and even Casadora's backstory involved her own mother attacking her.
That's
Hmm.
actually so funny. Considering the
Wow.
whole thing I've been going for with Tibbs was trying to prove prove it to himself again because of yeah, wow, okay.
So that was the thematic through line I was attempting to do, and so that also mirrored a little bit with the Silver Dragonborn, who had caused a schism between themselves, their own group, and then killed each other over it.
Plus Zeru's backstory. Oh boy.
Indeed. So that was why I was
Oh,
happy that
boy.
it all worked out like that.
No.
Because that was sort of what I was going for with all the different characters and sort of each of you having
Mm.
this sort of thing in common. So Rolla was a part of the group that looked at the death of Lilandiel a little bit differently. As I mentioned briefly, and I don't know how much everyone picked up on it, but Lilandiel was killed because she sympathized with what dragons call the lower races, which is you guys. She did not, like most dragons, see the lower races as servants, like most dragons do, beneath them. She saw them as interesting and valuable in their own way. And that was why her own mother, Nidrir.
No, that was her. The one
Um,
that killed her, the red one.
no,
Oh, I
Nidrir.
forgot.
Nidrir told the others to kill Lilandia,
Okay.
and so it was multiple dragons that attacked Lilandia.
Oh, not just one. That's
And
awful.
she was attacked in the skies over what is now Middlemere, and that is where she landed. And then after hundreds of years, she was eventually buried under the earth. And so a dragon dying is a very impactful thing. It often changes the entire terrain around said dragon's corpse, depending on both how the dragon died and what sort of dragon it was. And so Lilandiel died through a sin, essentially, of kinslaying. And so that was what made her her aura poison the earth around her. But Lilandiel herself did not want that to happen. She did not want to harm any of the lower races, as they call them. And so that was why Lilandiel was crying.
Oh, cause all right, cause
Because she didn't want to do any of that to you.
Yeah.
And so Rolla was of the group that was believing that there was a lesson to be learned instead. That rather than Lilandiel having been right and them killing her and that being a horrible thing, he thought that Lilandiel was foolish for sympathizing with the lower races, and that indeed dragons, and in turn dragonborn, should be above everybody else. And so he wanted to use Lilandiel's bones, and he did not want Silvervein cured, because essentially if you allowed that to continue, then Middlemere would have become a kingdom that was only inhabitable by Silver Dragonborn. Everyone else would be dying as soon as they set foot on the shores.
Oh, wow.
If the
I mean, that's
Silvervein was
one
allowed
good
to
way
spread.
to have a kingdom. Actually, that's
Indeed, it's essentially a kingdom in which no one else is physically capable of living. That is one way to protect your own people, and so that was what he wanted to create. That was Rolla's motivation. And so when he saw Lilandiel, he realized that Lilandiel had not learned a lesson and instead was still sorrowful for the people who she was harming. And that was why he felt almost betrayed by Lilandiel, as he hoped that maybe she was doing this out of anger at the lower races for getting her killed. And so that was why he remarked that she hadn't learned a lesson. And so that was why he instead tried to use it to kill you all. And that was why he broke the lyre, because of course he did not want Silvervein cured. And like you, he believed that it was the lyre that was doing it. So that was Rolla. That was Rolla the Silver Dragonborn, in a summary.
Thank you.
Now, is there any other questions? I kind of took that one away with it.
Oh, that was good.
I figured that you
No.
wouldn't get that context any other way, so I figured I might as well tell it.
Yep. Was the horn to the Sullivan?
The horn was it was attuned to alert specific people, not just make a loud noise. It was actually, if you blew it, it would be silent.
Yeah, I just assumed it would be to Sullivan.
And, yeah, it was a direct signal.
Nice. I'm glad they went through their shit then. Oh, the other tent. Did it have anything cool in it? The one
The
weirdly no one
alchemist,
went
the
in.
alchemist tent. Is that the one?
No, there was one tent that nobody slept in. It was on like the
Um,
opposite side of the alchemist tent. I thought it was weird. Yeah.
No, I don't think it had anything in it. I think I just forgot how many people were there and how many tents there were.
Okay.
Oh yeah, what's the sword that I got? What does that do?
The dragon forged longsword.
Yeah, what is that?
I'll eventually add the item to your inventory, but for
Oh.
starters, it is obviously a silvered weapon now.
Oh,
So bad for demons, right?
so we're going to the fucking vampire plane.
Oh, vampires.
Well, a lot of creatures in D&D have resistances to normal weapons, and silvered weapons bypass that. It is almost like a Witcher thing, silver for monsters.
Yes.
And so Tibur's sword will now bypass all those resistances and do damage as normal. In addition to that, it is a +1 weapon. And it is also considered a slumbering dragon forged weapon. In other words, as you progress, it can be awakened and gain strength.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
good. Because
fucking
I
cool.
thought
That's dope.
Chibi said something about being like, "What if you find a better weapon? You're just gonna throw that one out." Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
No, I
Of
like
course, I
to
wouldn't throw it out. I'd eat
I
it.
like
That's
to
what
make I like to make weapons upgradable. I think that's more fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that is your dragon forged silver longsword. What were we gonna say, Go?
I was gonna say, even if it was gonna be one and done, I would just eat it.
Oh.
I mean, I got one magic item the entire campaign. I don't think I'm gonna be, drowning in stuff that I would replace it so easily.
I mean,
Did
if
we
you were,
miss a lot of them?
You missed a couple items. I'll say that.
Dear me.
But that's not the end of the
Yeah,
world.
I imagine.
I won't tell you about them just in case I decide
Yes,
to
thank
throw
you.
things in later.
Oh, can I
And
get
also,
the?
I'll probably cry about it.
Is it possible to get the mana drift refilled?
Sorry, what is it?
The
Oh,
mana
mana
drip
drought.
The mana drop potion?
Yeah. Or tincture.
You could probably seek out maybe more bottles of it in a larger city.
Okay.
Oh yeah, what's
at
up with
alchemist
your face?
shops
Yeah.
or potion shops, they would sell that. Or potentially, like if you found an old wizard, you might be able to buy them off that.
Sweet.
What were you gonna say? Sorry, Ruva.
What's up with Gil's face? That's from Chibi.
the fuck you trying to say?
Chibi asks,
GB,
Why?
clarify.
What's wrong with your
looks like
face?
a raccoon fought you in a back alley, is what it said.
Oh, there's on Gil's portrait. There's like small little
Yeah.
lines on the face.
Oh, I just assumed they were like sigils or like air genasi sigils.
So those faintly move a little bit. They don't like leave that part of the body, but it just kind of like waves like the wind.
Oh.
But that's
Cool.
about it. It's just like a
Right.
part of it being in genasi. That'd be kind of cool. So, because like they talk about earth genasi having like rocky textures, or fire genasi will have like flaming air or some shit. So I wanted to add to the air genasi, so it was a little more.
Oh, that's cool.
We did. Is your like forearm bracelet anything else? Like
Nope.
anything sentimental or anything, or is it just an accessory?
That's stuff that I can't exactly reveal a whole lot about, like end game stuff about it, but it is a bracelet that I've had since you all met me, and I've had since I've been in the orphanage. And it's a memento, but I don't really know much past that.
You have a bracelet?
I have a
Yeah, he
cloud
has a
bracelet.
forearm bracelet shaped like a cloud wrapping around his arm,
Mhm.
Oh, nice.
and you wear a silver
Okay.
ring around your neck.
Mm-hmm. Creeper. Looking
Taj
at
has
our
a golden
profiles.
streak in his. No,
Yeah,
I wrote all this down when you described it at the
Okay.
beginning of the campaign.
Okay.
Like literally, I'm gonna put it in Discord what my player notes are.
Oh, I remember. You have a little magnifying glass.
Yeah, I do. It's you
Thanks,
guys never
Ed.
asked, but I can explain. It just it's just from Edward. It just says Ed on it. That's all I have for you guys. 4 or 5 years ago, she
Oh,
was on
that's
a
good.
boat.
She was on a
Um, questions about Kaja's hair? If it's dyed or if is the rest toasted?
I already know about
The
that,
gold
so
is just it's there. He didn't know why it was there, but now he kind of has an idea.
yeah.
Streaks of gold.
Now he's a golden boy. No, stop. Cheebs, stop it with that. We're not talking.
Oh no, what did you do?
Just saying the Edward thing, but as like, you know.
All right. So, are there any more questions, or should we wrap up?
I swear there were more.
You guys can also ask me questions if you had any. It's not just chat.
Great, I have a question for you.
Okay.
I want to know about the spooky mansion in front of the drunken jester.
There's
I've been sitting on
Oh.
that for so long.
Straight up, I gotta be straight up honest with you. I put that there just to make you do the same thing you did in the other campaign.
Why do you do this to me?
just
I had
just
a
for the
feeling it
exact
was a
reaction
fucking
that you
thing.
had. Just to mess with you. Apologies for that.
Oh, I also have a thing. What was up with the barrels? It's been bugging me.
Which barrels?
Barrels.
Of
The
wine?
barrels of wine. Yeah.
From Eudora?
If we had gone that way, would there have been a wagon that had been overturned?
Oh, you mean like drifting down the river at the very beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was
Okay.
up with that?
Yeah, there was just like an overturned cart over down the
I
road that
knew it.
you could have went and followed, but I think I don't remember what I put in it. There's like some gold or something like that
Mhm.
in it. Just as like a
Oh, yeah,
little
magic
side
item.
distraction if you wanted to pursue it.
And was the other side distraction in the in the deep green domain?
Like
Was
the
that a boar? I thought of it as a boar, but
Yes, it was a boar. It was not just
Yes,
a
I
normal
knew
boar
it.
though. It was kind of
Oh.
big.
Ooh.
Had like quills like a porcupine.
Oh. Yeah, the
The
sandworms.
Oh, I've got one.
the dragon tapeworms. They weren't dragon tapeworms. They were carrion crawlers. They were
Ew.
attracted there by all the
Oh,
corpses
the
around.
dead meat. Yes.
So if we had let them drug us in the underground part to like get
No.
us out of there, wouldn't they have actually done that, or would we have ended up in a bad spot?
You mean down in the alchemist lair?
Yeah.
They would have wiped your memory and dumped you in the forest.
Oh,
They
they
weren't.
wouldn't have.
They weren't super evil people. They would have wiped your memories so that you forgot the last couple hours of your life, and then dumped you down in the forest so that you didn't remember anything that happened there, and that would have affected future things because that ended up coming into play later.
Oh, okay, because what's his face? Well, one, we wouldn't have found any of the
The potions and stuff
organization,
like that, as well as
or the organization thing with the letter.
yeah, it would have affected things in the future.
Yeah. So the guy that the people with the masks, the people with the masks at the monastery, weren't they the same people who had ambushed us on that road?
Not
Or were those two
the
different?
not the same people, but the same organization. Yeah.
It was okay. That's what I thought.
Yep.
Damn it, there was one more thing. Can't remember. he did something with arcane dust.
that
Yeah,
was
he was
fun.
fooling around with the arcane dust
He was
over in
drunk
the
out
other
of his
room.
mind.
And when he was messing around with the arcane dust, I rolled on a table to see what the effect would be, Chibi, and it was a confusion spell that cast on his location, and so that was him seeing you guys as teapots.
And oh yeah. Elliot, what was his dream thing about? Or will that come in?
In the back of my head, what was that again? Describe it more for me.
Basically, he would talk about the shepherd.
Oh, the shepherd.
That's me enjoying being ominous in reference to other things that might come up in all sorts of different campaigns. There have been other groups that have been referencing shepherds. I will say that. I mean, you should probably ask Gale because he was there.
Hmm?
do you know about the shepherd, Gale?
Fox of the Isles has met people talking about shepherds as well.
He did. Yeah, it's is that something I can actually talk about?
I'm not going to say any more about it, but if you wanted to explain what that was, it was just another sort of ominous thing that was going on.
Shepherds are a cult of sorts.
So there was some crazy people in the prison where Fox was located. They had made their way down into the sewers under the prison, and one of them was speaking about a shepherd tending to its flock, which is a similar thing that you were hearing from Elliot.
Yep.
And that is also connected to something that Classic Crows encountered briefly. It was a very minor side thing, so I'm almost certain nobody remembers it and nobody connected it, but it is connected. Gee,
no.
You got smited. 127 messages deleted.
Damn.
Rest in peace.
You hate to see it.
Oh no.
Absolutely destroyed.
Oh no. That is funny though.
So, was there anything else to do before we wrap up? Yes, Chibi, if you have a question. As long as you don't type it in all caps, then you should be fine.
Oh my god.
You can ask away, Chibi.
I swear there was one more thing. Oh yeah. What does Roller's Bow do, and potentially can you put it in my inventory?
I'll eventually add it. We'll say that during your 4 months you take a look at it. I don't have it right in front of me, but it is.
I currently have it as a custom item that just says Rolla's good bow. So
it summons a cowl that gives you temp HP, and it can change your arrow's aspect to frost.
Oh,
So you
nice.
can start doing frost damage if you want.
Nice.
Using that bow.
Okay, cool.
As of course, silver dragons are ice.
Yep,
and all that.
frosty bitches.
Frosty bitches.
Oh, of course, that stupid ice potion. Okay, I'm sorry. So mad that happened.
Well, TV, if you forgot, then you can always message me the question on Discord later. But other than that, I suppose we'll wrap up for the night. As for Whispers, I still need to organize with them. I'll probably send them a message immediately after I end the stream, because I don't know that they're going to be able to find a perfect time this week. Since I was hoping to get them in either on today or tomorrow, but seeing as both things now still are running, obviously today we had a stream and tomorrow I have the guest appearance over on Tavernosh stream, it doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to get them in, and then of course Wednesdays don't work for them anymore, and then it seems like Thursday doesn't work for Lola, and then Fridays don't work for Wits or so it's just it's a big mess. And of course Sundays are my C's, and I think someone said Saturday didn't work either, so we might not be able to get them in. But if we don't get them in this week, then we'll definitely get them back in either Monday or Tuesday, whichever one works better for them. We might usurp your slot, guys, now that Wednesday doesn't seem to be working out for them very much.
It's all theirs. It's a good spot.
All right.
Well, it's not all theirs potentially forever. I say, narrowing my eyes, I will fight someone for it. I mean, they'll win, but I'll still fight someone for it.
Chibi, you're fine. We'll wrap up here. Chibi, if you remember the question you had, then message me it and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. But I may do the evasive thing where I can't tell you all the answers quite yet because it'll come up later on an actual stream. So expect that I won't answer the question at all, but I'll do my best. But other than that, things proceed as usual. There might be slightly less streams in the next 2 to 3 weeks, just because I'm setting up the next campaign to start, and sort of progressing into the short story kind of things that I want to start doing, to let us explore more of the realm and not have year-long time commitments for every single campaign.
Do we get any details about the new one?
I don't know which one they're going to pick because I think I'm going to give them an option. I have several that are kind of like half ready that they could start on. So I might actually give them an option. So could be something involving devils. It could be something involving dragons, or it could be something involving
Dungeons, maybe? Sorry.
dreams.
Is this a whole new group?
I will be new groups, yes. With the short stories, I want to introduce new groups. Ideally, people who haven't played much D&D, as that seems to be kind of a fun little thing for our channel. Since I'm a teacher and all of that, with Charlemagne as the headmaster, it kind of works out, and I enjoyed giving new players their first D&D experience. So hopefully, I can find groups that are at least relatively new. And yes, Chibi, I agree. They did have an amazingly believable sibling dynamic. I was thoroughly impressed throughout the entire campaign. You guys did so much amazing improv RP. That was genuinely very impressive. So props to all of you and a round of applause. Take a look.
acting?
I always felt like I always felt like whenever we made you laugh, we were doing a good job.
Yes, you guys made me laugh an infinite number of times during this campaign. So it was an absolute blast to DM, and of course we will be back for more later. In a project that I am calling 3 Crowns.
Okay, we had to wait a long time just for this one too.
Yes, and it'll probably be another similar wait.
Oh no!
What with trying to start up new things, of course. Since you guys just ended, it'll be lower on the priority list. So I'll be focusing on getting the other campaigns through, as well as maybe doing a little bit with the groups that have been sort of in between seasons right now, bringing back some of their groups. Potentially the brass hands and all that. I want to do a little bit with them. But the priority right now is new groups, just so that we can grow the realm and have more fun with more people. But the next priority after that is the groups on season breaks, and then after that, that'll be you guys. So we will get a round 2 eventually, but that's the way the priority list goes at the moment.
Yep.
So that's all I have to add. If you want to be kept up to date on schedule changes, especially because I'll be announcing new campaigns and switching around whispers and all that, then follow the Twitter and be kept up to date. You can also join our Discord if you have not. I fucked up the command, but you get the idea. I missed the enter key and hit the wrong one. Join the Discord. It's not just for players. It's for anybody who takes an interest in the world and wants to see all the art channels, meme channels, and theory crafting. Careful there, Chibi. That was really close to getting smited again. Don't make me cast silence on you again. And so, if you ever miss a session and want to go get caught up, if you tuned in halfway through this one and want to go get caught up, but you forgot to do so and it's already gone, then it'll be on the YouTube channel. I upload all the VODs there when they're not on the Twitch, because they stay on Twitch for 15 days and then they disappear. So if you want to get caught up, check out the YouTube channel, Grand Lorian on YouTube, but the link is there. If you want to learn more about the world that this takes place in, check out the World Anvil. There's a whole new continent in there now, so there's lots to read. You can do a bit of reading about Bastila, as I can guarantee you that some of the new stuff that will be coming out on the channel will, of course, take place in Bastila. two of the three will be in Bastila. And so take a look at that if you want to get caught up. And if you want some context on this campaign took place in Middlemere. It's 5 years before the current timeline, and you'll see why in like 4 years from now. But yeah. So they're in Middlemere. They traveled all across the realm, so it's all fair game. Read all about that. Read about the food that they've been eating and what Middlemere culture is like and all that, so that you can get all ready and informed for the future.
Oh, I just remembered one question.
Yeah.
Torg, we did kill his friends, right?
The gnomish alchemist at the
Yeah.
yeah. Yes.
Okay. That's
Just wanted to make sure.
yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, definitely. Alrighty. So I guess we will call it a night. That was a good epilogue. I'm happy with where we left things, and excited for the future. So I think we did a good job. If you guys don't have anything to add, then let's raid somebody. Who should we raid? I've been trying to raid other small streamers. Let's see who we got. We got 8 people in here. That's enough for a raid. Let's raid. We are going to raid another. We're gonna raid another undead VTuber. We're gonna keep it in the family.
Hey.
Hopefully they're not ending the stream because that seems to be my curse. We're going to raid Spooky Wookie Coconut, who is a ghost. So be nice to her. She's playing Zero Escape, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors, which is a great game. No, don't go and spoil anything if you know anything. But we'll raid them. So go and be nice. Other than that, have a nice night, and I will see you all later.
Good night, y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for DMing.
Thank you for playing.